Damas y caballeros, welcome to En Mis Tiempos. I want to be your host, George, and the guy who tried shooting Trump had me thinking about how I missed my shot with you. I'm here today with Alfredo. I'm sorry, just Alfredo.
Why just me?
Because I don't. You three can never say shit to me ever again. Adriana, Adrian, and Luis are not here because. Well, actually, I'm not. Don't know why. I don't want to say the reasons.
I know why, but it's not important. The point is they're not here. But we do have two guests today, so we're just gonna call them co-hosts. We have Katie and we have Luis. Welcome to the podcast, guys.
Welcome to the podcast. Hope you like it.
And we're breaking a record today.
Why?
Katie, you mind telling us where you're visiting from?
Recently, Zurich, Switzerland.
There's no way.
Yeah.
You just beat everybody on Earth. That's so
single-handedly.
cool.
So you're the guest from the farthest away that we've had.
Okay.
I think Canada was the one we had before.
Yeah, Canada.
Yeah, I think that warrants a drink.
It does.
Before that, I was in Singapore. I think that's
Yeah,
even further.
That's even further.
Actually, yeah, she just beat her own record.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait, is it?
You don't even. I know.
It
you
stood for like 1 minute.
That's so cool.
Right.
So from Switzerland.
Yeah.
Wait, Sweden. Yeah, Switzerland.
She's living where I was supposed to be living by this time this year.
Wait.
Yeah, are we going to get into that?
We can.
Where do you? Wait, are you from Switzerland?
No, I'm from here.
She's from right down the street
So
I used to teach down the street. I used to teach with
with Yvette.
Yvette. Yeah.
and you decided to go to Switzerland.
No, I've actually only been there for about a month. Before that, I was in Sweden.
Mm.
Yes.
Which one's better?
So far, I don't. I don't know.
Well, she's just got there. Give her a minute.
Yeah.
Okay, but you already
Thank
know that. Okay, but you meet the people. Who's nicer, I guess.
Nicer Swiss people.
All right. Well,
Really?
We're going to
Yes.
Switzerland.
Yes. Would
Are you
also
sure it's not
like to
just
talk
like
about
the-
this too.
The language, it just sounds a lot. Well, they speak German there, don't they, mostly?
Swiss German.
Yeah. It still sounds, it's a little rough. But not as bad as Swedish, I would guess.
What is Swiss German?
Swiss German is you take German and you start going.
Nice. I think I got it right.
Probably not.
Oh, that's so cool. I don't know. I
What
wanna go to
did you want to
Switzerland
get
now.
into?
About that?
The I guess people being nice.
What do you mean?
Because you asked me. That's what you asked me.
Yeah.
Who's nicer? I would say that Swedish people are nice, but it depends on how you define nice. Because, well, I mean, speaking to outgoing people here, I would say that maybe like that initial contact is really important.
Mhm.
Yeah. But Swedish people do not know how to small talk.
That's what I've heard. So it's true.
It's painful.
Are they blunt or are they just...
So my partner is Swedish, but he doesn't have to hear this. But
Okay.
I'm going to send it to him.
I hope he does now.
so in Swedish, to translate small talk, it's called cold talk.
Ooh.
So you could see how much they value.
So is it true that, like, you know how here you're walking down the street or whatever and you see somebody say good morning, whatever, smile? Is that not something they do over there? 'Cause
No. Oh, God, no.
Is it awkward?
So awkward.
I literally heard that.
I love moving there.
Honestly, I could go without having to say,
Right,
hey, how are you
yeah.
doing today?
Okay, come on.
I don't like small talk. I don't like small talk
No,
either.
okay, but okay. I heard the same thing just last week about in the UK. You know, people walking down the street will not say shit to you. We won't talk to each other. But here, I don't know if it gives me a happy feeling. So if someone says good morning, I'm like, dude, what? Good morning. You went out of your day
Yeah,
to
but you're a
like say
fucking
good morning.
weirdo, so it's...
Oh, okay. It's not. It doesn't make you happy. It doesn't make you feel good.
You know, it
stuff?
doesn't change my mood at all.
But whether or not you like it, you know how to do it.
Yes, because I'm from here.
That's
so,
like,
yeah.
they see it as a skill. Like,
Oh,
like my husband's like, how do you do that? Sometimes I call America and I have to like call a bank or something. And then while you're waiting, I'll just like shoot the shit with that person. They'd be like, how did you just do that? You're never going to talk to that person again.
Even
But
here, like, I see it as a skill. When people can just like start talking to somebody they don't know and have like a meaningful conversation, No, that'll never happen.
Do I have it?
I know how to like if somebody else starts one with me, I can carry it on, but I'm not going to be the one that starts it. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Do I have it?
Swedish
think
people
I- yeah.
are obsessed with like not bothering other people.
Yes,
like
that's
they
what I
just
heard.
see that like
And I
If we're-
appreciate that.
I thought that, but when you are just in line, like the postal service or the post office or something, you're gonna wait. Like, why not just like strike up a conversation with the person next to you? But everything there is more like transactional. Like, okay, if you're not gonna give me something of value, then
Yes.
why do
I
I
don't need to talk
bother?
to you. You're right.
That's the way I look at it.
But I think that's sad.
That's how I look at phone calls and text messages.
That's exactly why I don't like calling people.
Yeah, but in person, I'm like, it's different. I don't shoot the shit, but if
Pass
it-
the
text,
time.
Yeah, in text messaging, you better have something, or if not, I'm not gonna text you
But
back.
the conversations that I'm having with myself in my head are more interesting than any conversation I could have with a stranger. So I don't know. I like it. I like that.
Damn,
If
he
I
has
ever
a-
do move there, I'll be looking forward to
Damn,
that.
he has a big forehead or something like that. Yeah, I got you. No, I do the same. Yeah, you're right.
Do you regret moving? Obviously not, right? Like you haven't come back. So what was your initial plan?
18 months,
Yeah.
And how long has it been now?
8 years.
Oh,
Yes.
did you meet your husband in Sweden?
I did. I came for an interview and met him the first week there. So I think I was like, wow, Swedish guys,
His small
amazing.
talk must have been good because you're still there.
Did he start with
So,
small talk though?
How do you pick up a girl at a bar without small talk?
So dating is not a thing in Sweden. Basically, what you do is you go to a party
Okay.
and mutual friends.
And hope something
You
happens.
sleep together immediately.
Well, you got to
First
figure
night,
out if you know. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's actually a huge thing,
Mhm.
and compatibility. And then you're just like together. Like it's not a you
God,
don't do this whole like
definitely moving
dating.
So you didn't
courtship.
cancel your free trial. You just like subscribed.
It basically right because that's what I got out of it.
Yeah.
Well, shit.
I'm all for that. I wish it was like that here. You waste too much time with the small talk, with getting to know people, with like lying to each other.
Yeah, but
Like,
what?
why?
Okay, is there breakups over there or something?
Sure.
Yeah.
I guess there's a less divorce rate there.
No, I think it's pretty high too.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think that changes anywhere in the world. It's just part of being human.
Yeah, but it's okay. Get you.
I don't know. I'm not a relationship expert.
A lot of people don't get married too because you have domestic partnership status.
Okay.
It's called sambu.
Ah.
And you have like basically all the same
All of a sudden,
rights.
see?
The only right you don't have is inherit. Like if someone,
Oh, where did
die. Yeah, then you.
So what happens to your things if you die?
Then I think it goes to your
they disappear?
Parents?
kids.
If you have
If
no
you don't
kids?
have kids, your parents.
Okay.
Then
Falls on
oh,
the-
but then it would go to the state.
No siblings?
If you don't have parents either? So it's kind of like Mexico, I guess, in that sense.
Wait. Okay.
Except in
I
Mexico, you do have to be married. Like you don't have. the
didn't know
rights.
that about Mexico. But okay. I don't know.
Well, I mean, it's the same here. If you die and you have no living relatives or a will, it
If you
goes
don't
to
have
the
a will,
state,
yeah, okay, yeah. It just goes away.
I guess.
Disappears.
I think the government gets it.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
They don't give
Okay,
it to an orphanage.
for sure, no, they won't do that.
That's so weird. Give it to an orphanage. Those kids don't need it.
So get married, folks.
So you called him your partner earlier, but he's your husband. You got married.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
yeah, she doesn't do that. She got married.
Oh, okay. You-
No,
you-
we
you
are
got
not
married.
domestic partnership.
Yeah.
We are married.
Married.
Yes.
Me and even you can do that here too. Now it wasn't like that when we first got together because I couldn't put her on my insurance at work, even though we've been living together for years. And at some
But now you
point,
can, right?
At some point, I was able to do that. You just had to like fill out an affidavit, and
Wait, you're not married?
no, we are now, but early on we weren't. We lived together for 7 years before we got married.
I thought you and Yvette had like the surprise
Yeah, that was us.
graduation /
Mhm.
wedding.
And that was like 17 years ago or something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't
was
know
there.
that story.
You don't know, dude?
I don't know that story.
You weren't around back then.
No, oh, no, I definitely wasn't.
Guy, Valeria was like
11.
5 or no.
She was 11. Leslie was 8.
I remember this though.
Yeah.
How old was I?
I don't know.
I was like 12.
No, this was in 2007.
Wait, hold on. The weekend.
2007 or 2006? Fuck, I don't remember.
Oh wow.
Well, yeah,
Yvette-
honestly, I don't really.
No, I
We
remember.
don't celebrate that.
It was for a graduation, right? We were at a lakeside. I don't even know where this place is now. Like,
Really, it's right on 30 and
is it?
Zion
Oh,
or Chaha, one of
it's
those
not-
two.
Well, okay.
It's right over the bridge. It's the only house there.
And there was a graduation for Yvette. And
She
then
graduated
I remember
college.
all of a sudden it was weird because I was inside the house. There was a little house. All the windows were open, and I look out, and he gets on his knee, and I think you asked
I
her.
didn't
No,
get on my
did you get on your knee?
knees. No.
Okay, did something happen? I don't know. Everybody started screaming. Oh my god! And then he's like, "Richie, something's in my throat."
It wasn't Richie. You got the story all wrong.
Isn't that Richie?
No.
I don't know. I just remember looking through a window, watching this whole thing.
How old was he?
Him?
Yeah.
It was in, how old were you in 2006? 7-ish.
I don't know.
Because his recollection doesn't
I think you
sound-
were about 14, 15.
Okay, see,
You should remember that a little better.
dude, I don't remember what I did yesterday.
I just remember seeing pictures of Yvette. She's wearing like her medals for graduation, and then she's also in her wedding gown. I was
Yeah.
like, interesting mix. Medals and a wedding dress.
It was one of those where like our parents really wanted us to get married and we didn't really care, but I guess she cared a little more than I did. But she said, "Let's get married at my graduation party." I'm like, "Fuck it, why not?" Like, I didn't care. I didn't care either way.
See, you ruined the magic for me
Dude,
there.
we
That
brought
thing
her
was
uncle.
planned.
Her uncle
I-
was a minister or something
Ooh,
in
what
California,
uncle?
and he's the one that married us. He's the one that did the ceremony. It was Yvette's uncle,
Oh, okay.
which I thought should have given it away to her parents because why would he be here otherwise?
That's true.
Like we weren't close, they weren't close.
Well, maybe. I don't know.
Are you two related?
My nephew,
Nephew. Okay.
Yeah.
Hello.
On your dad's side, mom's side.
mom's.
Mom's side.
He's my nephew, both of them.
Both of them.
No, he's related to me on my dad and my. He's my sister's son.
Oh, yeah. Okay. That would make sense. Sorry.
Hello. I'm George.
Another interesting Swedish
He's
random
married
thing.
to my niece.
Yeah.
Valerie's
okay.
my niece.
I'm married to
Yeah.
his cousin,
Yeah,
and he's
We're
her
all related
godfather.
here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, in Swedish, you name everything very literally, which I think is nice. So, 'cause I do know some Spanish. I know that's not the case in Spanish, but in Swedish, your grandchildren is called child. You say
There's no way.
barn.
I've actually heard of that. Yeah.
What's,
Yes.
what's barn?
Child. My child's child. You literally just say, or your grandparent, you say far. Father's father. More.
you'd be my-
More.
Sister's son.
So sister's son
so
would
literally,
be
sister son. You would be
no, because
Cousin.
it would be
cousin.
actually I don't know that word.
Yeah, you don't know
But
nephew?
to you to there, they would be
Sister son.
No, father's brother.
so
Mother's,
farbror. You'd be farbror.
which means
Father's brother.
or mother's brother.
Oh, for
Oh,
me?
morbror.
So there's a difference.
Mother's brother. Yeah,
Even
yeah.
though I'm the uncle.
Yeah, exactly. So,
So
if
if
you always
I was your
know-
uncle, you would call me something different than he would.
yes.
Huh, that's interesting.
Larbro or like what was what for him?
Because
No,
it's
okay,
your
I
sister.
said that wrong. If you're my like, you would call me something different than Richie would, because he is my brother's
Exactly.
son and you are my sister's son.
Oh,
Exactly.
okay.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter that I'm a male.
Oh, where they came from.
You
So it's your
are-
mom.
Yeah.
Then it's
You just said it.
morbror.
Yeah,
Morbror.
Or bro.
Mother's brother.
Oh, okay.
More.
and for Richie, it
Yeah.
would be
Father.
father's brother.
Father.
Farbror.
Faber. I know I'm. Yeah. I'm not gonna try to get that right.
It's more descriptive because now you would have never had to ask
Mm.
from your
Yeah.
mom
What's the
or your
relation?
dad.
Yeah.
What you meant was
sister's brother.
I want the family tree laid out.
Sister's son,
You
I
don't
mean.
want to see my family tree.
Yeah.
It's huge. You watch Game of Thrones?
I did. I am waiting to watch the whole thing all over again.
Are you watching House of the Dragon?
I'm not.
That's unfortunate.
No.
Well, we're gonna subject you to 30 minutes of us talking about.
You go for it. I will not
All right.
smile
I-
at the camera.
Are y'all caught up?
Of course.
Yeah.
I just watched it. I finished it 5 minutes before I got here.
I loved it.
Dun, 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 dun. I
We're
forgot
not
how the
doing it
song
now.
goes.
No.
Oh, sorry.
You can.
We can, but there's more important things to talk about this week, like
Literally.
sports. Yeah, you don't.
Argentina or Spain?
I think we talked about this. But I don't follow soccer, right?
I do more when I'm in Europe. Yes.
So we following the Euro Cup.
Yes.
Okay, so that finished yesterday. It ended as expected, I think.
Oh, come
think
on. I was so
halfway-
pissed.
Halfway through the tournament, everybody knew Spain was going to win it.
Yeah, but you didn't want it.
I did.
I didn't want it to happen.
I enjoy making fun of the
I
British.
hate the Spanish. I hate the Argentinians.
Why do you hate the Spanish?
I don't know. I just feel like I have to.
Just because they're like the
Yeah, they're like the
what do you call them?
motherland or the
No, what do we call them?
conquistadors.
Spain or the team?
You-
Like they-
Both
Or
now.
the colonizers.
Yeah, the colonizers. Yeah, the people over there aren't very nice. I don't know. I didn't like them.
I
Anyway.
thought you did like them.
The people over there?
Yeah, you didn't like it when you went there.
There's one guy, like, he seemed cool, but
Just
most of
one?
the people are really mean. Yeah,
Not enough small talk.
yeah they don't know. He gave me a lot of small talk, honestly. It was,
That's why you like them.
yeah, it was pretty cool. They invited me to go watch Bad Bunny, but I didn't go. But yeah, the team, I hate it. I wanted England to win.
Why?
That's
They've
my
never
other-
won one.
That's my other mother.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
What?
I didn't know England's never won a Euro Cup.
Oh yeah, no, they've never won one. That's why I wanted them to win.
That's
And
why
plus-
I don't want them to win. It's just funny at this point.
No, it's funny because of the soccer player Harry Kane, who's never won a trophy, continues to not win a trophy. I hope he ends his career not winning a trophy.
See?
And
If he would won yesterday, he would have had a trophy.
yeah, but it would have been nice too.
Okay. you got to make up your mind. You either hate him or you don't.
Well, no. I like England. I don't like Harry Kane. But anyways, I lost the bet on that one. So I owe someone a guitar case. Actually, I was gonna bring that up to you.
Well, that's manual, so you're welcome to take it. I don't.
Hell yeah. And that okay. I really want to talk about the Argentina and Colombia game. What happened before, not the game before.
The game went as expected.
The game
I
when as
think.
expected. Yes.
I think Colombia
I think
played
it was
better
pretty
because
good.
they had a better team,
Yeah.
but experience won.
But
out.
after what the fans did, I was like, "Just take it, Argentina, take it, please.
Why? It wasn't
know.
just Colombian fans doing it.
No, but it was like mostly the video you see of people jumping through the ducks.
Wait.
The-
Why are you turning around to drink? You can drink in front of the camera. That's
Then,
fine.
I don't know. You're gonna hear me swallow or
No,
something?
we won't. No, it's fine.
Or is that what we're doing?
All right, let's all do it.
I
at the
thought
same
that
time.
was polite.
Oh, not in the mic.
Yeah.
You're talking about the Colombia fans and the Ducks.
Yes. So a bunch of fans pushed the gates open, and basically people with
They didn't push the gates open.
open the gates. Yes, they did.
They needed to open the gates because
Yeah,
there
there
was
was
a
a
bunch
little girl one.
like accidents were going to happen. People were going to die if they didn't open the gates.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like that South Korean thing last October. Did you hear about that? Did that come in the news here?
Where?
It was like in South Korea. It was Halloween.
Yeah.
And they
Oh,
all,
yeah,
they all,
the first
like,
time coming out from
died
COVID.
from
Yeah.
just being in a alley.
Yeah, it was like a record-setting number of people that were out on the
But it
streets, and
just blew your mind. There's
Yeah.
just people being on people can.
I still don't understand how that happened. Like,
Like,
I guess
you've
people
never
stopped
been in
us,
a crowd
right?
of people like that. Dude.
Yeah,
It's
no,
not-
no, yeah.
It's not cool.
I'm guessing getting stomped on or stepped on, but you know,
you can't breathe. And
People like
Yeah,
pass out and
that's true.
die standing up from the pressure. Like it's legit pressure.
yeah,
That's why the fences went down. It wasn't people pushing on them. It was just the pressure.
yeah, security gave up because they couldn't contain the amount of people that were coming in.
It was badly organized. Badly like they didn't execute.
If you
Yeah,
want
they
to
have a
blame
plan,
someone,
so-
I think that's Conmebol's fault. Like they organized the whole event. They should have
So
better
okay,
prepared.
was it CONMEBOL's fault? Like, because I get that they were organizing the tournament, but I mean, in part, I mean, it's over here in the United States.
So,
in CONCACAF.
What I read, and I don't know whether this is true or not, but the host country is in charge of like choosing the venues and security and all that stuff. Like, but Conmebol tells them when they can open the stadium gates. Like, they go through all the process of how you're supposed to
Oh.
fill the stadium,
Okay.
which is not how they would normally do it. Because if you've ever been to a game here, the stadium opens hours before the game starts.
Yeah.
And they start letting people in hours before the game starts. But that wasn't the case yesterday.
Yeah.
Oh, it opened up what? 2
I
hours?
don't know exactly when, but that's what caused that. Like people were showing up and the gates were closed.
Oh.
So I don't know. I don't know who to blame. I just know it was a shit show. It made soccer look bad. It made Miami look bad. It made everything look bad. So
it made it look bad for the World Cup.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what Valerie was saying yesterday. If they can't even handle
Copa America.
what they're going to do with the World Cup when we got
Imagine
way more.
when the British and the Irish get here. And
Yeah.
I think the Irish are making it. Don't worry. Sorry.
Hey, they got more teams now, so they probably will.
Yeah, you're right. You might.
Wait, was that a stab at the fans or the players?
I think the
No,
players.
the
the
team.
The team.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Not the fans. No. I actually want to it'd be cool to hang out.
You're going to
with
get some
Irish.
hate mail.
Ireland, when we went in to Germany in 2006, Ireland played England in Cologne. Is that what it's called in English? Cologne?
Yeah.
I don't know,
Yeah.
whatever.
Germany, yeah.
And that was the funnest party. You get a bunch of British people drunk, talking shit to a bunch of Irish people drunk. We didn't understand shit. We spoke English, but we didn't understand what they were saying. But it was a lot of fun. It was a great
I would
party.
have just started speaking Spanish just to
We
throw
did.
it.
It was fun.
Okay, so I guess you kind of helped their whatever happened yesterday. Now I feel like okay, it's someone else's fault.
Because it's not. I mean, this isn't the
It's an
biggest.
equal-
Because it
biggest
looks
event
bad
that
on the raza, like the people. What'd you say?
That's true.
I was going to say that I feel like it's equally like it was hard to it's hard to tell who's at fault.
Okay.
And I doubt they're going to open an
Yeah,
investigation.
I'm not saying the fans had no fault at all. Obviously, they did. It's no need
Yeah.
for them to be crawling through the fucking vents to get into the stadium. But it was that collective.
You think they're actually going to
thing.
give that money back to the people that didn't
They weren't able to get in?
get in?
How do you prove that you weren't in? Like, I don't know.
That's true.
I don't think so.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah, I saw some people paid like $2,000 for
Per ticket?
Yeah.
And didn't get it. So yeah, random people jumped in. But that's what I think. Like people showed up that didn't have tickets.
That
Yeah.
happens
Because
all the
they knew.
time.
But I mean, okay, but here for us, we're like, I guess it's different. I don't know. What I'm saying is like us, we'll show up to the stadium to, tailgate, but
Yeah.
not try to get into the stadium like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess. I mean,
I don't know. It was
I
just,
don't understand. This isn't the first Copa America they have here. This isn't
No,
the
it's not.
first
It's like-
international game they have here. Like,
Did we have problems last
No.
Copa America?
No.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't know. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was great that Colombia made it to the final because I really wanted them to win. But I don't
But
know.
you're blaming them for this whole thing. Okay, got it.
Basically, that's the only shirts I saw, and then one America jersey.
They have the same colors. What do you want?
I don't know. It was just weird seeing that. Anywho, what other sports thing happened?
Did Djokovic lose? I think he just lost.
No, he
tournament's
didn't.
Going on.
Yeah, he did.
He lost
He
to-
lost to some 20-year-old kid.
He's the
I
new
did
guy.
not. Yeah.
I don't know. Nobody
he
knows
lost
his
to-
name.
Spanish,
Nobody knows his name.
Carlos Alvarez.
Nobody
Yes.
knew Nadal's name.
No,
when
is
he first
Alvarez
beat
or Alcatraz?
Federer.
It might be. I know
Alcaraz.
it's. Yeah. I got that wrong.
Yeah, I don't know, but I know he lost. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're the number one in the world, and you lost to a kid.
Apparently, this kid is like the new
He's
superstar.
the new guy.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, he's like the new up and coming.
I heard he had a after party or something, but he made everybody wait because he wanted to watch the game.
Cool.
So
He needs to win one more before I know his name. I don't know his name right now. I just know he beat him.
yeah, I was like, we were at the house and someone put it on the TV. I was like, why the hell are we watching tennis? But then I was like, he's like, oh, it's the final. I was like, oh shit, all right, I'm watching. Anywho,
I think you can watch any sport when it's the final.
honestly, you tell
That's
me
a fact. Like I think even like women that are not, I'm not singly not women, but most women are not into sports. If it's the final, they'll start asking you questions about the players and the teams and
The best.
yeah.
Yeah, if you
Who's
tell
the
me-
best?
Because you're now at this point watching the
stakes.
two best teams and they're gonna win
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
Whereas every other game we watch is like, does this game mean anything? No.
No.
Yeah, I don't care.
It's just two guys fighting each other for no reason. But it's the final.
What's it called? If you were to tell me like there's a cricket World Cup final or shit, I'll watch it.
Speaking of cricket, how's your rugby
That's
going over
not
there?
the same sport at all.
That's a sport that Americans don't care about. That's why
Right now
yeah.
is the World Cup touch rugby. It's happening
Really?
in Nottingham, England.
Wait, hold on. Did you say touch?
Touch rugby is not rugby. It's a separate sport.
So
What's
how
the
does that work?
difference?
It's touch.
So yeah, no
Like-
contact, like flag.
Oh,
Yeah,
But
but
do they-
it changes the rules when you can't tackle. You sort of have to anticipate the game a little bit differently. So it's instead of 15 players, you go down to 6.
oh,
So
on the same size field.
S-
It's a lot of running.
So
So it's like a game of tag.
it's hard for me to ask you what I'm going to ask you, but because we don't know the game. But what happened? Like, why is it called touch? Does something happen when you're touch if you have the ball?
So instead of getting
It's like a tackle?
tackled, yeah,
Yeah.
so you put the ball down
As soon as you're touched?
as soon as you're touched, where you're touched. So if you like take a step forward, you have to go back.
Okay.
That's why you kind of have to anticipate the touch, so you like, keep
Get,
the
get rid of the
momentum.
ball.
And then you put the ball down, and then someone else can come, and it's the same. You still have to throw backward. That's the same as rugby.
But do you still do the like? There's no scrums instead of this touch, right? Like,
You have 6 possessions to get down. And
Oh,
that,
really?
After that, it's a turnover. I learned to play right here in Dallas,
I know that's cool.
They have
Lake Highlands.
You know what? I have seen some teams practicing here in Dallas for some reason.
And like
Mhm.
Highlands, have you? That's the one that's
Oh,
on like
yes.
Buckner,
Yep,
right? Buckner
yep.
and
Just on Buckner.
yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
I love it because everywhere I've traveled, they have some kind of club,
Mm.
and it's social, and it's usually pickup, and it's co-ed, men and women, different ages. So I love it for that. So they have age brackets. So
Mm.
like the World Cup, they have up to like men's 50s.
the World Cup has age brackets.
Yeah,
That's interesting.
yeah, and they have so they have the Open is just like you're just badass, and you doesn't matter how old you are.
50-year-old on steroids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then you have women's 27s, 35s, 40s. I don't think they have women's 50s, but men's they have up to 50s, and they have mixed as well, which I love to play mixed.
Have
so
you ever heard of? I think it's called. Correct me if I'm wrong, but Aussie rugby.
Aussie rules. Aussie rules from
I love that one.
I think it's a hybrid between
Soccer and football and rugby.
and also like some kind of Aboriginal
Oh,
game
Hmm?
that they've
so it's like
Included
throw in
some
there.
Yeah.
fun.
No,
Hit it with the
you
hip.
need to watch it.
I've
like-
never seen it.
It's literally the field's a circle, and there's like I might be exaggerating, but it's like 25 versus 25, something like that. It's 20 versus 20. I don't know. That's how many people I saw on the field. I found it interesting just because they were kicking the ball, chunking the ball, running, and like having field goals from like 50 yards out, or I don't know, in the middle of the circle, on the right side of the circle. It was really cool.
But I don't think they play that outside of Australia much. Even New Zealand, they don't play that.
Really? We need to watch a match. It's real cool.
If you tell me where I can watch a match, I'll have to watch a match.
Where did I watch that match?
That's what I'm wondering.
I'll get back to you on that one. I don't remember.
It is pretty interesting to go abroad and see like all the different sports that people play.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ireland has like Gaelic football or something. That's like a different one. And then they have one where they have like a spoon or something. That you like, it's bigger than it's like a wooden spoon. Like,
Quidditch. Oh no. No.
no. But
What do you do with it? Like, is there a net involved?
okay,
or-
now I might get confused with Gaelic football. Gaelic football is like you can't you hold it, but you can also kick, but you can't run more than like 3 steps or something.
Oh, what the fuck?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then you have to pass. But I recently learned about netball,
Well, that's
which is
pretty-
neat in Australia. It's like kind of like basketball, but when you throw it near the goal, everyone has to like stay out of that circle, so it's a bit more calm. It's also the same thing. Like you can't run with the ball. There's a lot of sports actually. It seems very unnatural as an American. Like all the sports we have are like run with the ball. There's like all these other sports where you like just catch the ball and you have to sort of just pivot and pass or something like that.
Like what's that game called? Frisbee? Have
Ultimate Frisbee.
Ultimate
yes,
Frisbee.
yes,
Dude, I
that's
love
another
Ultimate.
one. Yeah.
you ever played?
No,
It's pretty fun.
but I've always wanted to because that one actually does look pretty fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Diving for a frisbee on the end zone.
I wish I could have played that when I was like 18. I would have been really good at it. I like diving for shit. Man.
Yeah.
Like now I can't. Plus the belly, like it'll bounce off. And I know.
Hey,
Wear some
baby.
protective gear.
So we
Yeah.
do that.
we could make like a championship version of all these random sports.
We
and just-
should make up our own sport. Yeah.
Olympic sports.
Yes. Okay, you're in charge of that.
yeah, I guess. Well, I guess that's the Olympics. Yeah, you're right. It's true.
Oh, we should have like a.
No, but
is
do
there
like
an Olympics
Olympic
for all these weird
Yeah,
sports?
the
No,
Olympics.
I guess there's not.
Like-
I don't know how how they select certain things. I guess
It takes forever of people asking because like there's Olympic. This is the first year that there'll be Olympic, like a couple of sports that are fucking weird.
yeah.
I swear pickleball's gonna be there. One of these
Oh
years.
my
I think
god.
No,
It's not in the thing, but there's like a world championship thing.
Over pickleball?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you think that to qualify to be an Olympic sport, there would have to be something that many countries play?
Yes.
But that's definitely not the case.
What do you mean?
With certain sports, they're like clearly this is just a
Like which one?
Like
Well, I guess the
downhill
Winter Olympics.
skiing?
Yeah, the Winter
Yeah, I
Olympics
mean,
are
those
like
are-
that. Yeah, I get that. That's fair.
like Norway just
Wins
wins
everything. Yeah, 'cause it's fucking frozen year round. It's like no,
Plenty of
that's-
practice.
You know what? That's a good point. We should do away with the Winter Olympics. Fuck.
not fair.
Hold on, but I like that one. I like
Well,
those.
like, what are the people in Jamaica gonna do? That's why the bobsled team didn't work
Yeah.
out. You never watch Cool Runnings? It's like
I need a remake.
bobsled team in Jamaica.
I need a remake of that.
I swear there is
Why? That one
one.
was perfect. It was a perfect movie.
Wait, there's no way. Breakdancing is a new Olympic sport.
Look up. Is that what you looked up? New
Yes.
Olympic sports. There's a
And-
few that are like, what?
Kayak cross, skateboarding, surfing.
Skateboarding. Yeah, like those sports
That's
have been
cool.
around forever, and they finally made it to the Olympics.
But you have skateboarding around the world, so that makes sense.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's
Is parkour a Olympic sport
I
yet?
hope not.
parkour.
That might be coming up.
Why not? That's pretty cool.
Let's
How do you
petition.
judge that?
I want to
Dude,
see that.
Hardcore parkour.
Hardcore.
3v3 basketball is back. Apparently,
3v3?
They already have basketball.
How do you
but it's
play that?
I don't know. Well,
And it's half court, right?
I guess. I don't know. Kayak comes back. Arctic swimming, boxing, sailing, shooting, track. Well, that's the same.
I like 3v3 because basketball players are so big now that it actually makes sense to like
Yeah. Just
shrink it
What do you mean
down.
by now? They've been
Like-
big before. Like Shaq was a big.
Okay.
Oscar Robertson was big.
Now it's like a freak show. I think the NBA is like a freak show.
'Cause they're just so athletic. It's not that
Because
they're
of that?
big. They're just
Like
big
a
and
s-
like fast and strong, and
A 6'7" guy looks like a shrimp.
that's a valid point.
yeah. No.
Yeah,
I'm
always
gonna agree with her.
Steve
that-
Nash is like 6'4", and he looks like a
Yeah.
midget. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like the average has been probably shifting higher and
For
higher.
sure.
in
I mean,
heights.
their
yeah.
wingspan across like the
Yeah.
court.
This room.
Like
They
yeah.
could touch
This
the wall.
room.
3v3,
Easy.
then you actually can have some room.
Yeah, there's some. Who's that soccer player? I mean, the basketball player from San Antonio, Wanyama,
Wemby.
Wimby.
Yeah.
He would probably have to duck to get in.
Yeah,
there.
he could not walk in here or spread his wings.
He's
He has like a 10-foot
7'1".
wingspan. What's his wingspan? Look it up.
Victor
Victor Wembanyama.
Wanyama.
Wembanyama.
Wembaya. It's Wembanyama.
Wembanyama.
He's 20 years old. Just
What's his
so you know.
wingspan?
8 feet.
He's
It's got to be way more than that.
But sometimes, like
Yeah,
basketball
probably.
players, like your wingspan, wing. We have why do you call it a
Wingspan.
wingspan?
I don't know.
Armspan. Your
You
arm
look like you're
span.
fine trying to take off.
Yeah,
It's a estimated 8-foot wingspan.
That's it?
There we go.
Yeah, right on. Damn.
it's
Good job.
supposed to be the same as your height,
Yeah.
but basketball players, it's not. It's even longer.
They pulled
But
it.
no, he's only like, he's 7'10".
He's 7.
Yeah,
So it's only like 2 inches longer. It's not that bad.
but it's significant, 2 inches. But it just like
Thank you.
read this
Saying
somewhere.
that.
Like I
Women,
said,
listen up. 2 inches are significant.
Exactly.
yes.
7'4".
She's taking a drink for that.
It's better. It's better to have longer arms than be taller.
It's better to have 2
But
inches
it's
than nothing.
No, but it's weird when you're just walking and your hands are like to your knees.
touching the ground.
I think there's
You're
actually
dragging your hands on the ground.
there's like a term for that called it's like your ape index, like how much more your
Yes,
wingspan.
because you're not supposed. They're not supposed to
Yeah.
be that long.
yeah.
If you notice, like,
Is he gonna die
I'm
soon?
not.
No, I don't know.
No, but yeah, they're freaks of nature.
Oh, what? What are you?
Well, so
freak?
okay, what was? There's got to be a way to look this up. I wish you had a fact checker that would sit over there and just look stuff up for us. That would be
For real.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe one day.
I want to know what the average height of the NBA player has been.
I got you.
Since starting, throughout the years.
Okay,
Because
continue.
I think you're right. I think it has gone way up.
I think I looked this up because as a science teacher, I taught muscles and bones unit. And I think that's why I'm recalling this.
How
That,
tall was
like,
Michael Jordan? Wasn't he like 6'4",
6'3"?
6'3"? He looked
Yeah.
normal back then. Like he looked a little short, but not
No,
not like
like-
Steve Nash looked.
No,
when he was
now
playing.
I feel like the average is like maybe 6'5", 6'6".
Yeah,
They're definitely a lot
Michael
bigger.
Jordan
he might have
was-
been 6'6".
Hold on. Stats.
Actually, yeah.
What are the stats?
That sounds right.
But you don't even have like smaller point guards anymore.
No,
He was
yeah,
6'6".
Yeah, the point guards used to be the short guys.
Hmm.
He was 6'6".
How tall is
So,
Luca?
He's 6'7".
Is he? I don't know then.
1947, 6'2". 1950, 6'5". 2007, 2008, 6'6". 2015, 6'7", and 2024, 7'4".
That's like
Wait,
accelerating.
what? 6'4",
Wait.
not 7'4".
7'4".
No.
That's
it's
not
a-
the average.
It's a 7'4".
The average height of a national basketball has
There's no
increased over
fucking
the-
way.
That's like, what do you call that? When
says
it like
7'4".
It says
logarithmic.
7'4".
Yeah.
Can somebody fact
not
check our
like
fact checkers?
What? Yeah.
7'4" is excessive. Shaq 7'2". There's no way the average NBA player is 7'4".
Maybe like incoming class.
No, no.
Have you seen these kids?
Yes,
They need to make the court bigger.
they really do.
No.
That's why they don't dribble anymore. Like it used to take 10 steps to get from half court to like now it's like 2 steps and they're there.
They don't
So they
even.
pick up the ball at half court, do a Euro step and then they lay it up. Like what the fuck just happened?
All right, my top sports book says 6.74.
That
For
makes more
2024.
sense. 6'7",
Yeah,
which is
I
still
can agree
freaking
with
tall.
I can agree with that.
that was
Yeah.
AI, so I'll give you that.
Yeah, I think AI was just projecting like, okay, if we keep going at this rate, it's gonna be 7. Yeah.
I don't know. They look tall to me. The class looked super tall.
Well, you're 4'2", so it's
Well,
They
you know
all look tall
what?
to
You didn't
you.
have to throw that out there.
How much of that do you think are like bred? Like
hormones.
like their parents
Oh,
were
yeah.
basketball players and they
bread.
Yes.
I think you meant like slices of bread.
No, I think genetics plays.
BREED.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that's a thing now that like
Yeah, there's a lot of
they marry tall
Yes.
women that are also basketball players and they have their kids.
a lot of the a lot of basketball players nowadays are sons and daughters of basketball players. So yeah, that makes sense.
The
But that wasn't
gene
the case in
pool
the
is
past,
just
Yeah, I've actually seen that a lot. Now it's more common for the average basketball player. It comes from a family that's more well off
Yeah.
versus what they
Not
used
just
to be.
more well off, but like the mom was
Yeah.
a fucking track star and the dad
Yeah.
was a basketball player. And
Right.
Yeah, that athletics
That makes
already
more
runs
sense.
in the family.
That's true. Whereas
Probably-
before it
probably
was
in all
just some kid
sports.
from the hood.
Yeah.
Come on. No, I'm
No,
serious.
yeah.
That's what it was.
Yeah, because that's where they learn how to
Yeah,
play.
yeah. I see. I see
And it
that.
was always that like coming up from the hood and you bring up your family with you. Like now it's their family's already well off.
Yeah,
when they-
and they just have kids.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like Bronny,
Yeah.
who has
You-
no
you
business
got-
being in the NBA right now.
Hey,
Whatever.
it's gonna be it. You should bet. I saw what's it called? I guess a bet on the. What would you call it?
Could somebody give him a beer?
Oh, sorry. It's someone betting that Bronny would score 25 points at least in one game throughout the whole season.
He won't do it. He won't even play.
He has to.
I had seen a meme that Bronny was the shooter for the assassination attempt.
Oh God, stop. Are we?
Because he missed, just in case.
Yeah, I got that. I
Okay.
got that part. But are we?
You have the bottle opener?
Speaking of the assassination attempt, we need to go and talk about that.
Oh, yeah, that happened over the weekend.
So, question for you: how closely do you follow U.S. politics? Hold on, that's a 2-part question. How closely do you follow it as an American, and how closely does the rest of the world follow U.S. politics? Because you know for a fact that we don't follow politics from anywhere else. Like we don't care.
You personally.
I personally care, but the U.S. as
Didn't
a whole
Mexico just get a female president?
did. It's-
Okay.
Yep.
The fact that you know that is impressive.
and France just did I don't know.
They just had an
like
election, a re-election.
2 elections. Yeah.
Okay, so you do, yeah.
Yeah.
I think they follow it really heavily same as kind of entertainment as well.
It's not supposed to be entertainment.
What do you mean?
At
From
least I
another
can-
country looking at
Yes.
it?
Well, I
Do you
mean,
miss it?
it is.
Yeah.
But it's not supposed to be.
Oh, it's dude,
So
that's-
what do they really think of us? You've been in a few countries.
I hate us too. No, it's not that bad.
I have to say, I was not glad I became a citizen last year, and I have to claim it. This shit now, like I can't.
You only just became a citizen.
Yeah. Before it was like, what do they think of them? Now it's like us.
Ah. I think that Europe, I can speak for like Europe and Scandinavia a bit, that there's definitely like a fascination because so much culture comes from the U.S. And
Pop culture, though.
yeah,
Right?
yeah, but more than that, I think they just don't understand the history, like that, like we had good intentions with the setup of the states, and it's just kind of gone awry. But because they're European and like they're great grandparents, you know, they can go to their burial or their family homestead or something. They're so much more logical. They're not like holding on to this like ideal that they
Our
can.
founding fathers.
Yeah, that it was this event that they remembered. They don't have that. They're just like, okay, yeah, in the 800s we were really poor,
Yeah.
and so we tried really hard
Like,
to,
I feel
to
like
not.
history to us is not the same as history to them.
Yeah,
Because our
History to
history
us
is
is not
500
even-
years old. Like, so 500 years, that's it. There's no
Less than
more
that.
than that.
right. And the U.S. is like marked as a beginning of an event,
Yeah.
and we hold on to some people hold
Yeah.
on to that event a little bit too hard. Whereas I think Europe, they see as like we're evolving as things change.
Well, they've been through the
because-
cycle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And I don't
right.
think- I don't think-
Dynasties have fallen.
I don't think people in the U.S. realize that we're just in a separate stage of the cycle, and it's going to fall, and somebody else is going to come up, and it's going to keep going. I feel like Americans just feel like, oh yeah, we're the greatest country ever, and it's going to go on forever. Like that's what England said.
is it
you know,
because of the
back in day.
military?
That's what Spain said back in the day. That's what like every country in the world has said that at some point.
Right,
It's
but is it going to be China?
probably. It's not going to be Russia.
It definitely won't be.
The thing is, okay, I did not live in China, but I lived in Singapore, and I would say that was Asia light.
Not if you
And-
ask.
Did you say Asia Light?
Asia
Yeah.
light. Yes.
Remember that? It was the TikTok guy, right?
Huh.
It was actually from Singapore, but the guy kept asking him questions about China,
Oh yes, yes.
and he's
He's
like,
from
"Are you-"
Singapore.
he's like, "I'm from Singapore, Senator, or whatever." And
Yeah.
he's like, "Yeah, but
Yeah, the
to
CEO.
China." I'm like, "I'm
Yeah.
not from China. I've never been China." Like, I'm not.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
I could aspects of Chinese culture could propel them, but from what I saw, they want to keep up just enough to sort of impress those around them. I don't think there's like this.
China or Singapore?
I'm speaking of the Chinese culture that I experienced in Singapore,
Singapore, okay.
which is not the same. I know they Singaporeans, to be fair, they have their own culture, which is not necessarily, but they are quite new immigrants. Singapore has only been a country since the 50s, or, no, even later than that, because I think they had just recently celebrated their 50th as a country. 50th year as a their own country. But yeah, so just being able to absorb Chinese culture, like rich and deep and beautiful, I have a lot more respect for that. But I don't know if it takes that personality of like, 'cause what I think Europe had in the colonial times is like, I'm special, I'm unique, and I want to do something with that. Whereas I think China, they do enough to impress each other. I don't know if
Oh, that's what you mean.
if you need that extra like little push.
They're not gonna do it.
But do you don't think they're imperialistic?
No. Okay. You're actually talking to the wrong person about history. I'm not a history person, but what was also very surprising is that going around Asia, because I went to Malaysia and Indonesia, how mixed they are with Chinese. Almost everyone in East Asia except Japan.
Right.
But Japan is kind of like closed off in that way, that they were really mixed with Chinese. They almost all, Philippines, they all have Chinese background. Indonesia, they all have Chinese in their.
Philippines are all Chinese looking with Mexican last names.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Spanish last names, but whatever.
Man, Filipino is. Have you heard Filipino? I think, yeah, Filipino. Is that how you say the language? But have you heard it? Like, as a Spanish speaker, do you understand? Like, none of it? Because it sounds so Spanish.
What do you call it? Like the way, I guess the diction is similar, but the words aren't, like, other than the last names.
You
It's
mean
kinda
like the
like-
way they pronounce things?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so's
Diction. You know that word
Japanese.
because your wife is a teacher.
Yeah, that's right.
No one else would know that word.
It's weird. But so
Okay.
Japanese though.
But
Like, have you heard Japanese people speak?
yes,
Like, I've always thought if I started trying to learn Japanese, I wouldn't have a problem pronouncing it because the pronunciation is very similar to the way Spanish speakers enunciate
you're right.
and pronounce their words.
actually
It's
try.
completely different.
try
The words
starting
sound nothing alike, but the pronunciation is similar.
True or false? There are no spelling tests in Spanish because you can sound things out so
I don't
logically.
remember if I ever took a Spanish test.
I have no idea on that part.
It's
Is
true
it?
that it sounds like how you say it is how you spell it, but I don't know about the Spanish test. Like, I feel like
Yeah, I don't
Spelling,
remember-
like a
I don't
spelling
remember
bee.
taking
Yeah.
spelling.
Like
Right.
you stand up and the teacher says spell.
It would be
know.
too easy to like.
Yeah.
because
To-
they're
to
very,
fake it.
Yeah.
no,
No, not
it-
like
to
to spell any word.
like it would never end.
'Cause-
Say like a really long Spanish word.
Well, it doesn't matter because you just sound it out. And you
Yeah,
spell it,
exactly.
yeah.
You would be like, but even
But I don't know if they have them or not. Because there are letters
never
like
seen-
the
I've never
S and
seen
the
one,
C.
honestly.
The S and the C are interchangeable in some cases. There's cases where you have the H to start a word and some where you don't. So you do have to know how to spell the word. But there are rules that dictate that. And if you know the rules, then you can spell any word.
Yeah.
I don't know all the rules.
so there's no excuse for not being able to spell in
Right,
Spanish.
yes, correct.
if you learn the rules.
Right. Which they teach you growing up.
So how do you judge people then?
You don't judge. Wait,
Like,
in English,
if you get like you're a manager, do you hire people?
yeah.
Yeah, but you
do
hire
still
people in
have
English.
the-
Like,
still
how do
have
you-
like
The grammar.
the grammar
Spell check.
thing, like in like the text talk
Text
in
to
English,
speak.
it's the same in Spanish. They still like shorten words and make up like shit that doesn't make any
Oh,
fucking sense.
slang.
Okay.
Like text slang, I guess. you
Oh,
would call
slang,
it, yeah.
slang. I was like,
And
Yeah.
you still have slang in Spanish, but you can still spell it. But there are ways to write words that are incorrect, but they're acceptable in text or in whatever.
Okay, are
That's
all
how I
your
judge
listeners like Spanish speaking? I'm gonna bore the heck out, like asking these types of questions because
No,
I'm
no.
truly fascinated by this. I think this is interesting.
Well, that's because you've been to places and you most people don't think about this shit, but it's interesting when you're trying to learn a different language.
Most people aren't curious enough to try
Yeah.
to learn
What?
somebody else's culture.
One thing is I didn't realize the melody in a language, how much that influences. Like I
Meaning?
think Spain Spanish is quite flat.
Mhm, yeah.
mm,
No, actually, it's not.
You think it's melodic?
A little bit, yeah.
I've been to Spain,
But it's not like
Mexico, and Ecuador. So those are the only three
Similar to both.
dialects I would be able to compare. And I would say Ecuador was quite flat.
but all of those, they're all Spanish, so the melody means nothing to the meaning of the word. I thought you meant like in Mandarin or
Oh no, like
You mean like
sound- to-
Vietnamese
like the
and
pitch
Vietnamese?
and the way that?
not to be understood, but to like have your local dialect.
No, yeah, it's a thing in Spanish for sure. And I think Spanish. Let me see, Spain Spanish.
what do you mean?
Is there a melody to it? Is it a sing song type of language or? Because in Mexico, it depends on what part of Mexico you're from, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, your accent.
Like to go up at the end of the word or to like give stress on
Mhm.
the same syllable.
Well, see, that's what I mean. Because
Is
it's
the
Spanish,
Spanish
the
on it?
stress is always in the same syllable. It's just how you say it. It's weird. You can't change the accent.
Give an example.
Um,
I don't know why.
I don't know. I don't know
Do it
any.
like that.
Like you could say, I'm gonna use a word that's not a fucking word, but the word chale, which I'm not gonna explain to you what it means right now, but you could say chale.
Charlie.
And in Mexico City, they say chale, so that's sing-songy, right?
Yeah.
Like it's, but you said the accent is still on the cha, so you can't change the accent. You can't change the emphasis on the word.
Charlie.
Otherwise, it changes the word.
But you would be able to then pinpoint
Where
where
they're
you're from.
Yes. But
Which is part of language.
in languages like
So what's it
Vietnamese, the same word with a different intonation means a different thing.
Mm.
And I didn't know that until I said something stupid to my Vietnamese friend, and he's like, "Yeah, it doesn't mean what you think it means." I'm like, "What do you mean?" And then he started telling me about how it is. And so, in the way you say the same word, and the way you like sing it, if you, to put it some way, means something different.
But when you learn a new language, you have to absorb that melody first.
Yes.
When I tried to learn Swedish, I first had to understand the melody. Like when someone's just speaking a sentence, knowing that that's a separate word from that separate word, that's a filler word. That I had to
Swedish
understand
is
the melody.
Weird.
I've heard it's a really hard language to learn,
Not grammatically, but
but
this
to speak
melody
it,
thing,
to
yes,
speak it,
it's
yes.
a bit weird.
You gotta
Okay.
get your right.
No, that's Swiss German. I'm gonna have to
okay,
learn
okay.
that.
Yeah,
next.
no, you got the right. No, I've heard one person speak Swedish. I think so.
It's not that pretty.
Yeah, I know.
it sounds kind of mean. I mean, it's like Russian.
French is the best. I mean,
Russian is
fuck
actually pretty
French.
nice. You,
Russian?
Yeah, Russian.
Russian, but not a Russian accent.
Oh, I don't
That
think.
one always sounds. I'm not going to impersonate, but
Go ahead.
no, I was about
Come
to.
on.
I was like, no.
No, I can't. But yeah, I think I like Russian.
All right, so the ex-president got shot.
Yes.
How do we feel about that? What do we think? What are our thoughts?
Oh, that was the train of thought. Okay,
Yeah.
I
We have
started
to circle
this.
back eventually.
Yeah.
Okay, so WWE Hall of Famer Donald Trump got shot in the ear, and
You saying he had a razor blade to cut himself?
I mean,
when he went down. Like,
I don't know. I mean, you know, people are what's side are we on? Is it was it what's it called?
False flag.
Unprepared, or was it true? What do y'all think? Was it real? Or was it fake? Was it all publicity stunt?
well, what would he stand to gain?
Dude, he
Sympathy?
pretty much just won the
Sympathy?
election.
No, he's
Yeah.
won the election. Yeah, that's our next president. Yeah, there's no way.
As a European, do you know how much I have to apologize now?
I bet it was worse like in 2016 or when, because that's when you moved.
That's when I moved. Seriously, I like turned off the radio.
And then she got over there
I'm gonna
and then,
apply
like
for a
this
job.
clown's running for president.
Yes.
You're like, what?
You
Yes.
found out over there?
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks.
Was that really your feeling? It was like,
Yes.
Dude,
Dude, I
it's
remember-
Donald Trump.
Yeah,
I remember
because
watching the roast of this guy when I was like in
I know.
Right.
high
Like, it's
school.
Donald
Like,
Trump.
It's a really good
Yeah,
roast too.
like-
Yeah, but it's what our politics have become.
I don't think that it was faked because, like you said, what does he have to gain from it? But I do think that he took advantage of it and immediately knew how to play the crowd and how to play the audience
He
because
played-
he's a con man and a showman
yeah.
that knew exactly
He
what
played
to
it
do.
so well.
Now you got that photo of him in front of the flag that's going to be in textbooks, history books. And
That's
they're going to use that picture
iconic.
throughout the whole campaign.
right.
Iconic.
Yeah, like
That's a.
he played.
If he doesn't walk out to Many Men, by
what?
Many Men by 50
WWE
Cent,
song.
you know, Many Men wish death upon me.
Somebody said he's going to be acting like 50 Cent back in 2020.
You're right. This was an official assassination attempt.
Yeah.
So that's going to go down. Like if you look up,
It's
just
gonna-
like
yeah, it's
what
going to be like Reagan in
presidents have-
81.
yeah.
and
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's,
And he got the perfect picture for the textbooks. And
The guy, I actually listened to a podcast where they interviewed the photographer, and so they asked him basically, you know, well, what did you see? He's like, what was going through your mind or whatever. And the whole, like, seconds before the shot, he was said that he stood right underneath him and just held the burst button. I don't know,
the shutter button.
the
Yeah.
shutter button. just kept on shooting. And then I guess you've seen the photo where he got the shot where the bullets just grazing his ear. And then I think Donald Trump has also come out and said that the reason he turned his head a little bit more
Was because he saw the bullet coming?
No.
That's totally something he would say.
If he wouldn't, he can
Give
say
him a
what-
couple of days.
Yeah, he can say whatever he wants. He's gonna win. But he said that he saw an illegal immigrant sign or something that says something about illegals. So he turned his head a little bit. That's when it went.
He's so dumb. God damn it.
Well, all I ever think about though is when is his luck ever gonna run out?
It's never going to run
It's
out.
not
like
gonna
this
run out.
man
It's-
gets away with anything.
All right, so what? Do you think it was a legit assassination attempt by a random person?
So there wasn't a random person. Well, we know his name now.
Thomas Crooks.
But I mean, like, you mean like unaffiliated with, that's what you mean by random.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
it was. Yeah, I think it was
Like
a random-
Oswald, he wasn't
Yeah.
connected to
anybody or
the
anything.
Do you think it was?
KGB or whatever.
Yeah. Huh?
Do you think it was?
I asked you first.
I don't think it was.
You don't think so?
I
What do
think
you
it was
think?
just a random person.
You think it was a random person?
Well,
A
apparently
standalone. He
He's a
thought of
re-
it himself.
he was a registered Republican.
Republican.
He's 20 years old. Bought the gun himself.
We did?
I
Yeah,
thought it was
his
registered to his dad. Yeah.
No, so as of right now,
That was the
so what I
original
heard-
thing.
Yeah. It was like they were thinking his parents might have got it for him, but somewhere in there is like he got it himself, something like that.
So it was his gun, not his dad's gun. Okay. This is news to me.
And I mean, there's video where you see the guy climbing the ladder.
Okay. So
That's where I was.
do
gonna
you,
go
do
to.
you know what the process is? And I'm not claiming to be a fucking Secret Service agent or know what
So,
the process is, but
From
we all know, and I only know this because I've been in a place that the president was going to be working in a place where the president was going to be in the near future. And a week, 2 weeks before they ever show up, Secret Service agents show up and they scout the entire location and they go fucking knock on every door and they meet every person and they
they
check
do.
everything weeks before it ever shows up. He ever shows up. And
I know.
then the day that they're there, they have every possible fucking thing covered.
Site.
This is for the president. Granted, Trump's not the president, right?
Yeah.
But he is a presidential candidate and a former president.
Former
So,
president
yeah,
That's
always
like
gets
doubles
Secret
up
Service.
on
Yeah.
Yeah.
They always
the
have
protection. They always have
for
Secret
the
protection.
rest of
Service.
their life,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
This fucking roof is in a direct line of sight to the stage. Like, if I was building a gun range,
Yeah.
this roof would be where I would shoot from to the target where Donald Trump was standing. Like, it's
It was exposed,
Right.
but
It was 150 yards away from.
which is nothing.
Yeah,
for a
it's
shooter.
nothing. Yeah.
People saw this dude crawling up on the roof with a gun, and they told police officers that they're saying that a police officer actually climbed the ladder, saw the guy pointed a gun at him, so the police officer came back down, and that's when he started shooting. Like, he didn't try to hide it.
No. Yeah.
How does this person get into that place with a gun, climb a roof, crawl across a roof, set up, sight him, and take a shot before the Secret Service figures it out?
So, what I heard, through whatever news or whatever shit I read, the Secret Service was taking care of that area that Trump was at,
the
but
perimeter.
their perimeter, but the rest was supposed to be taken care of by local.
No,
law
the Secret
enforcement.
Service is solely responsible for the safety of that guy.
So
Well, no, yes.
I saw the same thing what you're talking about. My brother sent it to me that pretty much Secret Service was responsible for the perimeter. State police was responsible for outside the perimeter. State police
What is the
said that,
perimeter?
I guess right where the field was and the stadium or the podium was at. And that the state said that they did identify him and they saw him, but he was a gun-toting citizen, well within his rights because of state laws. They couldn't do anything to him until, apparently the state laws.
because he was outside of the perimeter, I guess.
Because it's not illegal to carry a fucking long gun
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
any of these states.
Yeah. So he wasn't committing anything
crime.
illegal until he shut up.
Took the shot.
Wait, this
Yeah.
might be the one thing that could like flip the
It's not gonna
NRA.
happen.
Like,
It's not gonna happen.
It's not
It'll
gonna-
never happen. You know what's
You can-
funny
I
is I
can
was having this
freely shoot
exact
a president.
conversation with a
Yeah.
friend while I was out last week
Oh, doesn't.
about
Oh, yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
how somebody
gun
like,
laws.
yeah, because we were talking about what we talked about last time with the guys in Uvalde.
Yeah.
How you're trying a cop for not going in and shooting this guy, right? But I don't know what the law is on what he's supposed to do as a cop. Like, is he supposed to go in there and shoot somebody? Because if somebody goes into a bank and fires a gun into the ceiling and holds everybody hostage, they don't just go in there and shoot them.
No.
They set up a perimeter, they bring in a negotiator, they establish communications, and then they negotiate with the guy.
Yeah.
But they don't do that with school shooters, right? Even though it's the same situation. You have a shooter,
Holy shit.
you have possible hostages, you don't have all the information, you don't know what's going on inside, yet these cops are being tried because they didn't go in there and take the guy out. Where that wouldn't happen in a bank hostage situation or a store hostage or a house hostage situation. So it's two different things. And my point with that whole thing we talked about last week was it's not fair to the cops to be able to have to make that
Decision?
distinction and choice
Yeah.
in the heat of the moment, right? So I lost my train of thought just now.
What information still needs to come out
From
this?
the
'Cause
Trump thing?
I tend to like try to wait a few days.
Yeah.
I mean, some people like to read like the minute by minute.
They still
Which is
need to
fine.
establish who he is. They haven't really said anything about his motivations or
Yeah.
Like-
I
all
want
we
to know
know
why.
is-
Okay, if you look at the video of the guy that took him out,
Mhm.
not the guy that took the shooter out,
yeah, the sharpshooters.
the sharpshooters,
Mhm.
they're looking in that direction.
Yeah, because it looked
Oh,
like
yeah.
they saw him, but
They
they couldn't do anything either
Why?
because, again, he was like, I've heard, again,
Because he
nobody
wasn't
knows
breaking the law?
anything.
That's
Either
where I
because he
started.
wasn't
Hold
breaking
on,
the
I just
law.
regained my train of
Yeah.
thought. The guy, it's not illegal. Okay, it is illegal to walk into a school with a gun, whatever.
Yeah.
But my point was, like, if you're a black dude and you're camoed out, you're wearing fucking
Are you trying to put them in that same situation?
no,
Climbing up?
you're wearing a what,
Tactical armor or
Yeah,
tactical
fucking-
gear.
Kevlar,
Yeah.
and your face is covered and you've got a fucking gun and you're walking in the direction of a pro-Trump rally or a KKK rally or whatever. Because my friend's point was you have to, if you have probable cause, and you can go in there and shoot the guy. I'm like, okay, who's more likely to be about to shoot somebody? This black guy that I just described that's walking towards a KKK rally, or you who forgot to take your gun out of your pocket and you walked into a school?
You're asking me why you answer like that.
If you're a cop and you see George walking into a school with a gun, somebody calls it in. He's like, hey, this guy just walked into a school with a gun.
I guess.
And you just forgot to take it
guess
out of your
me?
pocket. Yeah, that's you.
yeah. I'm guessing.
Who's more likely to shoot the people at the location that you're walking to? You or the black guy walking towards a KKK rally, camoed out, Velcroed, or fucking
Ooh.
Kevlar'd out with a
Talking
long
about
gun?
like reasons.
I think
guess
statistically they would go
be
with
me?
the school shooter. The
That makes
potential-
no sense, though.
It doesn't, but
So that's
They
not
go-
probable. Like, probable
No.
cause is a very much so a judgment call.
yeah.
Which is, my point is, you shouldn't put a police officer,
And a
if you're going to
judgment
charge
call.
him afterwards, you shouldn't put
Yeah.
him in that position.
Yeah.
That was
Oh,
my only
shit.
point to the whole
Okay.
thing.
No, you should have that established.
Because one of them is illegal. You walking into that school with a gun is illegal.
but
But you're probably not going to shoot anybody. You just forgot to take it out.
Oh shit! My God.
That other guy is doing something that's perfectly legal, but he's probably going to shoot somebody.
Okay, that's what you're saying. That's what you're saying.
So in this case, if what you're saying is true, then yeah, if that guy was outside of the perimeter where it was illegal to have a gun,
That's just my opinion. I feel like it's more likely they would go for a school
Yeah.
for this
And I don't think you're
possibility
wrong. I
that
don't
this
think you're
guy
wrong.
would be a
And-
school shooter.
Is it true that supposedly the shooter actually was on that warehouse where it was out of the line of sight for the sharpshooters?
no, they were looking right at him.
They were looking at him, but they couldn't shoot him.
There
back
was
then.
there was apparently like some obstruction from one of the other roofs,
Bullshit.
but
There was. You can watch
yeah.
the video.
honestly, I don't know. Without being there, how are you gonna tell?
Well,
like you got
okay,
videos
sure.
and pictures, like it's, and then there's also satellite images too and all that. But
How
I think it's kind of hard to tell. Like if you weren't there, if you weren't one of the sharpshooters keeping an eye out, like I feel like part of the judgment call was this one of our guys? Like, did they know if he
If
was
it was
like,
one of their guys, I would know.
yeah, and I think they were trying to confirm that, like from what the stuff that I had seen, that people were trying to, the Secret Service was trying to verify who he was with. but he wasn't wearing any kind of
No.
tactical gear or anything.
No,
He's just
but
wearing a t-shirt.
If you're the sharpshooter and you look into that scope, you can see a scope looking back at you.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
So how likely, I have zero knowledge of this, like, could you just aim for someone's ear?
no.
No.
I think,
Not at that.
I don't
But that,
think,
I mean, yes, there are people who can do it. That kid was not one of them.
yeah, so apparently this
Trump
kid
So
got
the
kicked out
likelihood
of,
that so you're saying then
Trump
with
got
this,
lucky.
Yeah, that's what I said. When somebody said it was a false flag, I'm like, no, there's no way.
no.
someone
You
could
wouldn't
not
put-
just get an ear.
No.
No.
This kid apparently got kicked out of his high school shooting team because
he
he
sucks so
missed.
bad.
Yeah, he missed a target from like 20 yards out or something like that. Like, no, it was like bad. And so,
So getting that close is actually good for him.
Yeah.
and
That was a good shot. Like, I'm at 150
He sh-
yards.
somebody
that
that
much,
was
like, it
good
was-
would have
He
made
did
that.
not. It was a
shot,
good
but-
shot,
You can't.
but he
No.
missed.
But when you also look at the trajectory of like right before Trump moved, he got lucky. That
Oh,
would have
yeah.
taken out the back
Yeah,
of like
especially
his
because
head.
he was moving. If it was a still target, indoors, no wind, nothing, yeah, somebody could take that shot. But no.
My father. I actually the second it happened, he calls me and he's like, "What's going on?" I'm like, "Oh well, sharpshooter, shot him, knocked off his ear, or whatever." He's like,
It's Mike
"Damn,
Tyson.
he missed." I was like, "Well," he's like, "Man, I wish it would have hit him." I was like, "Dude, you're not supposed to wish shit like that." I was like, "No,
You're not.
Man, you know what?
Well, I mean, I'm
Wait,
the type
fuck
of
that.
person.
You
I'm
can-
like,
When people
if the
have
situation
superstar
You can,
status,
you can express your emotions and your feelings about something. That's fine.
I express them all the time, but I'm not serious in that sense of like, actually a plague. Yeah,
I feel like the entertainment cycle.
I feel like
and-
there's a lot of people out there that
bubbles.
want that. But
yeah,
go ahead.
But-
Sorry.
yeah.
that the news media entertainment cycles and like social media bubbles like kind of amplify and make people more radicalized on left or right. So like you're gonna find regular people that are gonna that normally you would think, oh, they wouldn't think something like this, but they would wish the death of somebody on.
But he's
Like-
kind of a piece of shit, though. Like,
Yeah, like
I mean,
I'm not gonna lie. Like if the situation was reversed, and there have been examples in the past where like
Hitler. I mean, yeah, everyone
what-
wanted Hitler to be
well,
shot.
what I was
right?
gonna say is not even going that far back. Like I'm saying, people
Tony.
recently that Nancy Pelosi's husband got hit by a hammer, and Trump and his like fanatics were like joking about it and laughing about it. They don't have the decency, or they're not gonna be like, "Oh, my respects. I hope the family's okay." Or not. They're
I see
if
what
the
you're saying.
situation was reversed and there was an assassination attempt on Biden.
okay, yeah, I see what
Trump
you're saying.
would be-
If the situation was reversed, they would have definitely said, "Damn, he missed."
They would have been egging it on and been like, let's just finish the job ourselves, or just saying all this kinds of stuff. Instead,
right.
the
You think-
other side is trying to like,
Well, because
has the left not done that right recently, or is social media not on that side? Is like, damn, they should have taken him out.
no,
I don't know. I feel like a lot
Right
of
now,
people
there's,
are,
I haven't seen anybody
They-
actually say that.
No, I think the left is. I say like the left, like whatever. I guess I'm impartial now, but
You're sweet.
they would never admit that. They would never admit
yeah,
that.
but they're all thinking.
They're all thinking it.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I think
I know for a
also
fact Luis is thinking it.
Oh yeah, hell yeah. Luis is definitely our
Luis is
our ex
Ex fact checker.
fact checker.
X Factor.
Well, he never shows up, so
He says he's too busy. Anyways,
You guys need to put a job.
Oh, we are.
App,
An
yeah,
ad out,
app
yeah.
for that. Yes.
I have. So
I do think baby boomers are more susceptible to what you were
Why do you think that is?
talking about a little bit. No, I mean, I'm starting to loathe my own generation, millennials.
what do you millennial?
Like,
Really?
yes, I'm starting to like. Ugh.
Well, a millennial is now a VP for
But
oh yeah,
running
JD.
mate for Trump.
But I do think that baby boomers, I see like their relationship with technology, that they got it way later. I mean, I remember having Facebook, and it was like just friends. Like it was so cool because it was just my peers, and they're like, oh, my parents are on it. Ugh. But I think, and this is totally anecdotal. This is just what I see from my own parents, that it's harder for them to like discern like how much they're being actual fed, because I think they grew up with more. They grew up. They all watched the same news channels. Like their parents were born in the late 50s. Everyone in the neighborhood, everyone in the nation
when you
I'll
tune
watch
in
the
on something,
same-
you're watching the same
the
thing.
same thing. And
Yeah.
so like, I don't know how my mom doesn't realize like, okay, she's tuning in to the Rachel Maddox show. And it's like, whatever that woman says is totally like catered to her. If my mom realizes it, she doesn't care. And I think she's more susceptible to that. Millennials, my generation, I think, is, I don't know about Z. Are you no, X.
Oh,
X.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because you were at least, you were a full adult before like social media. I was like kind of still an adolescent. Yeah, I think she doesn't realize it as much. That is just totally catered to her. That they're giving her what she wants.
So you mentioned Gen Z, and have you guys seen the thing about Gen Z? Like, I guess
You're
maybe
Gen Z, right?
I'm like,
No.
yeah, no, I
You're
technically am
What year are you born?
97, so I'm like in
Yeah,
between.
You're not a millennial.
Yeah, no,
You're one of
No.
those tweeners.
yeah, I'm like I call myself a Zoomer. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay.
You're like right in between.
You're like Leslie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like the actual Gen Z, they apparently are more right-leaning and radicalized, I guess, or conservative than
What? Yeah,
previous generations have been, or like
I
than millennials.
don't see that.
I don't know, but you can fact check me on that. Apparently, statistics show that they're
I
more
feel like we need to
Really?
bring someone.
like 18 to 20, that
Are
age
they
range.
more skeptical of what comes through? I think so.
I feel like, yeah, they probably don't trust because they've grown up in social media all the time. They probably just don't trust any sources and they're just skeptical of everything, but they follow.
Which is good.
I don't know. I don't know how,
You think
how to
that's
describe
good?
that.
Not trusting any source. Being open to everything. See,
I don't
but
think. I think it's
drawing
being
your own
closed to
opinions?
everything.
Oh.
Not trusting any sources, being close to everything.
I think you should question everything, but there are
Question it.
some sources that like are going to be more reliable than others. Like, I don't think you should disqualify every single one, like how maybe some newer generations might. But I don't
Yeah,
know.
what do they have to
I think
turn
a lot of
to?
the
Thought you were
newer
gonna say-
generations. So
Thought you were gonna say.
I don't
Jews.
know that they're more right leaning, but they definitely live in an echo chamber more than
Because they grew up in social media.
I don't think they're in the echo. I think I'm in the echo chamber.
I think social media creates.
I think
an echo
everybody's in.
chamber for you.
I think actually, I think from what I've seen in my students, because I teach like 13, 14-year-olds, they're exposed to a lot more of the world. Like TikTok, it's
So TikTok can expose you to a lot more of the world, but TikTok will create an algorithm that suits
Yeah.
whatever you search for, whatever you're into, whatever you stare at the longest. And
But were
that
you-
creates the echo chamber for you.
But were you, as an 8th grader, for example, were you exposed to like
nothing.
Chinese cooking? No, I mean
No.
they're at least getting like a broader.
What was I exposed?
But they're only getting so they have access to a broader range of things, but they're only being shown what they want to see.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
Like it's all there, but they're not seeing all of it.
I
I'm not seeing all of it. Like you're only going to see what you want to see because that's what the app is designed to do.
I think that the distrust thing that you're talking about, because I think millennials have their trusted source.
So
Whereas what you're saying, the upcoming one, they don't have anything that
I
they
miss-
say.
I misremembered. It wasn't all Gen Z. It's Gen Z males, actually.
Oh yeah,
Oh wow.
Females,
Yeah.
that makes
yeah, because
Yeah.
they're sick of Me Too.
they are.
And
Can't-
they
I don't
also
blame
grew
them.
up with like
You can't be
incel
the
culture and like, yeah. So it makes more sense that it's Gen Z male. I just looked it up.
Okay.
You had a thought on that. Go
I
ahead.
can comment a lot on
Go
this,
ahead.
but
Please, go ahead.
I have never said these things out loud.
But
Say it.
now is the
Oh,
time.
I love that.
How many beers deep are you in?
She needs some
Just
of it.
2, but I am a little bit. I just need to make sure my
Yeah, it'll
daughter's
be fine.
okay.
Oh,
Fine.
I have to. You would have to start with a question because I have a lot of thoughts on this.
On the
Would you like
Me
another
Too
beer?
comment?
So what I've seen in social media, and this is my bubble, is that like Gen Z, newer generations of Gen Z males feel entitled to what a woman. they feel entitled, I guess, like that a woman should give them this or that, or like.
Oh, I totally did not get that from what you said.
No, I think that's a separate issue. I think it's like, I think they would be tired for apologizing for like
Yes,
just
that's what I
being
think.
victimized.
masculine.
Yes.
For a man to be masculine, to like
Oh, I
live
never
in your
think about that.
masculinity, to have to apologize for that. I would see how that would get old.
Right. And that's what I thought you meant.
Well, that too. That's all part of the, like, I feel like that more conservative leading statistic that I had seen. Like, I feel like more conservatives have been like, you don't have to apologize for being a man. Like, you should, like, you shouldn't have to apologize for being a man. And they feel embraced and accepted by that, because like more on the left side will be criticizing every single move that a man may do or make.
Yeah.
That's
Think
just
about it.
a perspective.
Fuck, we need Luis here today. I think everybody at this table is on the same page on that.
Yeah.
Oh, you need someone with a different
Yeah.
opinion.
Yeah, and Luis is usually that one.
Which way would he?
But
And play
he would tell
devil's
you
advocate.
that there's a reason for that, right? And the reason is that there's a long history of men abusing women and men taking advantage of women and men being fucking dicks all around. And he's not wrong, but that doesn't mean that every man's that way.
But I feel like when social media does amplify the ones that have been that way, some people latch on to that and then like kind of put that image on every man. And then the new and up and coming men be like, I'm not like that. So I hate the people that make me feel like that. And so they may feel like you said, that you have to apologize for just being a man. Or,
How much do you think that? Okay, so half of that population is women, and how much do you think an entire movement can be swayed if only half? So, like, is this new generation like how much can the women in that generation take part in like what the overall arching? You see, like,
And
Yeah,
shaping
you
that-
like
you got
shaping that
50-50.
mindset?
Yeah, exactly.
I
So-
honestly think they could shape a lot, but you also have to take into consideration there was like maybe 2, 3, 4 years where these kids weren't like interacting socially because they're doing at home schooling because of COVID, and maybe they didn't get that female perspective from socializing that they normally would have gotten if they were in person. Like that's just kind of what I thought whenever I see all this stuff coming about. I feel like these kids are shunted because they didn't get that social interaction from 2020 to up until like 2023.
23, yeah.
Things started getting normalized.
Then maybe you would argue that like if a guy went to a boys school or something, then he wouldn't know. I don't know if you could argue that. Like,
Maybe.
I
You could.
think you
Yeah.
could that not
Because
being around
women,
female would make you more.
and so
I don't know.
Or what?
Or the opposite. Like, that's the thing. Like, you can talk about this shit all day. At the end of the day,
It
it's
depends
up
on
to
the
every
person.
individual person.
Yeah.
But there are distinct differences in cultures and countries for sure. For
Without a
sure.
doubt.
I think
Without
it
a
would-
doubt. Yes.
I think
You
it
have
would
these-
define a culture or like a specific, I don't know, stereotype, or what would you call that? Like a people maybe that went to like an all male boarding school or something like that. The general stereotype may be that they might be, I don't know, like more against women or incels. But like you said, there are going to be standout people that are going to go against that counterculture that I don't believe in this, so I'm not going to be like that. I don't think it's always going to be 100% like this or that. You're going to have outliers.
But okay, to your point, you're speaking strictly like U.S. kids.
Yeah. I guess to her point, like Europeans or everybody else, I don't know how
Well,
they.
and not so much Europeans. And I think a lot of it is based on religion.
Yeah,
Whether right,
that would-
wrong, or indifferent, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
How
Because,
so,
like
though?
Japan.
Somebody give me a shovel because I'm going to start digging a hole.
Yeah, here we go. Japan, which I've never been, but what I understand about it is that it's a pretty, okay, to borrow a word, like machismo,
Mhm.
but in their own way.
Mhm.
And they don't have, like, and the freedoms that the men are given are like someone told me, like, walking down Tokyo, like on the street, the men that are experimenting with fashion and being like bold. Like a woman has to be like more modest and like plain in her clothes. So I think they have an interesting way of showing.
I feel like
this,
that's a newer thing, though, isn't it? That men in Japan now are more, I guess, in touch with their feminine side, or like getting more feminine features.
I think so.
But I don't know. But to me, that's not being feminine. That's like being like bold is masculine to me.
Yeah.
Elaborate on that.
Like having
Not being afraid of how to dress, or what do you mean?
yeah. I don't associate fashion with femininity.
Yeah.
But do you associate it with masculinity?
I think
It's knowing
like
what you like.
walking down the street and like being
Confidence.
confident.
Yeah.
Confidence
Okay.
is definitely associated with masculinity, but fashion, I guess fashion
No,
choices.
I
but-
think
they're
fashion
bold.
choices could be
but
with
just
you're
because
confident.
But like
Yeah, I
they
can see
weren't
your
wearing
point.
feminine clothes. They were just like kind of experimenting with like
Well, that's different than what he said.
boxier suits or like
Yeah.
like it wasn't necessarily so like yeah. You have different levels of
Because like
but to
Harry
counter what
Styles
you're
wearing a
saying,
skirt is bold, but not necessarily masculine.
No. You can be experimental with fashion. Maybe not you.
Deal.
But
Jeez.
feeling comfortable to be like that, I think, is a newer outcome of people being more accepting of.
What are you talking about? I've always been experimental with fashion.
You've always
I've had
worn
the
a
same
skirt.
fucking same thing forever.
But we could talk about religion because you brought that up too.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah. let's go.
I don't think Japan is religious.
No, but definitely if you go to a country that is Muslim, there's going to be a lot more machismo, like you said, and there's going to be a lot more.
You can't expose yourself, or
Right.
Yeah.
A lot of that stuff that when we were talking about, what the fuck is the generation nowadays?
Gen Z.
Gen Z?
Yes, and
Nowadays.
the Me Too
Yeah.
thing and all that
Yeah.
stuff. Like a lot of that is in those countries and in Mexico because of we're fucking machistas.
Yeah,
It's not acceptable, but it's more prevalent.
it's ingrained in the culture,
Yeah,
and then
which is something you said
part
earlier,
of like that.
Your culture definitely has something to do with how much we deal with that and how we deal with that. With the whether or not it's acceptable to be masculine, because being masculine here means something different than being masculine in Iran, than being masculine in Mexico, than being masculine in Japan, as you just stated.
Yeah, that's
Right.
true.
So
Yeah, some people
culture
here
has a
would.
lot to do with it, and religion has a lot to do with your culture.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's like I feel like here now. Some people I hear a lot saying that like being masculine can be like being in touch with your emotions and knowing like what you feel and how you feel, being a family man and like stuff like that. Where like growing up, at least in Mexico, it was always like you don't show your emotions ever as a
Right.
man. Like that's not a thing that you do. But it's that definition, I guess, changes, like you said, based off of where you're from and your culture, religious beliefs. It all like makes up the identity of the person.
So is this a bad thing that Gen Z is? I think there's some poster guy that they're listening to that I've heard.
Podcast.
A poster.
Yeah, it's a
Oh.
poster guy. That they
George's hero. What do you,
there's
Andrew
some guy.
Tate?
Yeah, probably him.
He
What'd
was
you say?
really Andrew Tate.
yeah,
he
that's
was really
George's hero. Yeah.
Did you say?
That they're listening to, but it's quite young boys, like
Yeah.
13, 14.
Dude, I had a
are
cousin
listening
that
to
tried to
this.
get me
He's
into
gone.
him.
He's not around anymore.
But I could empathize as you're like coming into your own, hearing someone
Do not
say like,
Empathize with Tate, please. No.
I'm empathizing as a youth.
There's better role models out there. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But I don't think this is okay. I'm really giving my opinion here now.
Yes, this
I
is
don't-
what we're here for.
I don't think I used to think that religion was a big part of it. I mean, one of the reasons that drew me to Scandinavia was sort of the absence of it. But in the absence of it, I think if you don't have an authority, human nature is going to you'll need something to replace that. So I see a lot of my Swedish students, boys, they were eating this stuff up. I mean, it was a big problem. So I was also working. I was a middle school teacher, working as head of grade, and this was like something I had to actively deal with. That like this is a problem for like they would sort of go around the hallways quoting to the girls like.
I'd seen videos of like guys telling a high school teacher like, "You're a female, so you don't teach me," like, and quoting like pretty much lines from what it sounds like from this guy's podcast. Yeah. Like I've never listened to him, but like I've seen his tweets and I've seen images of the stuff he says, and it sounds like a fucking moron.
So look, I'll go this far. I've not seen him in the 2 years. It's just so we
since he got arrested.
Since he got arrested, like he hasn't popped up anymore in my feed. So
for
Andrew Tate,
child trafficking and sex trafficking.
Okay. You know, I'm just saying he hasn't popped
Great
up.
Walmart.
I really don't know where you would go to find him again. So
he's still out there.
Romania.
I know Romania, but anyway,
do you think social change, like it can't happen too fast? Like if you have these big Me Too movements, you're always going to have like
backlash.
A backlash. Like, but if you looked at centuries at a time,
I feel like eventually it would.
Are we go? Yeah, I mean,
are you saying like, are we going in the right direction?
Well, we haven't established our like
I guess
goals, mutual. Like, I have no idea what you guys think politically, or not even politically, but just like about humanity. So when I say the right direction, I don't know what you mean by like, but like if you look at things and someone explained to me that that's how Russia, what they are quite good at is that compared to like the U.S., which seems to sort of look at things almost every 4 years. But like Russia thinks in like centuries.
Oh.
They deep plan, things like that. And if you were to like zoom out, are we headed the right direction that way? Like maybe that's the proper way to judge.
I don't think you can do that nowadays just because things are changing so fast.
I think it has to do with individualism versus collectivism.
Information is happening so fast, but like, can social change happen too fast? That there's backlash.
Well, I think the cycles are happening a lot faster now.
Yeah.
Can your mind be changed? Like, can an individual's mind be changed that fast?
Yes.
I think.
But an individual mind does not a society make, right? So societal change might take longer because it's happening so fast. I think the backlash comes before the change happens. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we had the hashtag Me Too movement, right?
Yep.
And before society changed for the better, because it should have changed for the better based on that, the backlash came. So we're in the middle of the backlash right now.
How, if you were an advocate, I mean, how do you push for social change? If you know, like, if you're gonna push for these things, like,
you don't push.
Get ready for the backlash.
No, you don't.
How do you do it then? You don't.
I've said this, I don't know how many fucking times, but sometimes the way advocates push for things is counterproductive because they push so hard and they push so excessively, and it's such a broad fucking net that they're casting that it backfires on them. That's where the backlash comes from. So if I'm an advocate, I'm like, yes, there's something wrong. Let's figure out how to fix it collectively, and let's work on it, and let's talk about it, and let's be reasonable about it. Let's not just say all men are pigs, because that's going to fucking come back to you.
But I'm just curious, like, what other context have you said that? Because you said
in any context. And at the moment, it's hard for me to give you other examples because everything in the last 10, 15 years has had to do with women and feminism and
race.
Hashtag Me Too and race, right? So it's the same thing. With race, back in the 50s and the 60s, it took decades for these movements to take place, right? It took a fucking century for us to go from like Jim Crow to where we are today. But in the past 3 or 4 years, we've got from George Floyd to the backlash that came from George Floyd, because there was a backlash from that to now it's like it's something else. Like It's moving too fast, and the fact that we're pushing so hard, and we cry about everything, and everything's racist, and everything's anti-feminist, and everything's this, and everything's that, it's not going to work. You have to slow it down. Or we're just going to keep going in this fucking cycle where nothing ever actually changes. We just keep fucking going back and forth about you're wrong, no, you're wrong, no, you're wrong, no, you're wrong. And that's it. Like, actual change takes time, but it also takes reason, and it takes logic, and it takes discussion, and a lot of things that we're not letting happen right now. Because we're just going overboard with, well, on both sides, we're going overboard with how we approach it.
I think it also takes compromise. Like,
And definitely.
and now it's just one or the
You want
other.
to.
If you're not
Exactly.
meeting my criteria, or
Then
like,
you're wrong.
Yeah, like fuck you.
Yeah.
Like, it has to
there's
be.
there's no like, let's go have a beer and talk about it. No.
No, it has to
It's
be
like,
like
fuck you,
some
you're
kind of
wrong.
middle ground, but there's no middle ground anymore. So it's just one extreme or the other.
Oh, my bear. We're out of beer.
Well, we got some good summer shandies over here. I'll go get you one.
What?
These are lighter, fruitier, and much more enjoyable on a hot summer day. They're also twist offs, which is a plus.
You know,
I don't know the answer to your question, how we can like fix that. I just think you got to keep trying, and maybe don't condemn or like let people be human and
Right, don't shut
figure
people
it
out.
out.
Hear 'em
People
out.
are going to grow. Eventually they might see the error in their ways, but you got to give them that room.
Or
to-
you might see the error in your ways.
Yeah. You got to be open.
Have you ever met someone who was too logical? Because that's what Sweden is. Really.
What's
It's
wrong
actually,
with it? Sweden's also one of the most like
So they're not like
forward
emotional
countries in the
or-
world.
like they're
So actually, no, I have met somebody that's extremely logical. He's my brother-in-law, and he's Dutch. So it might be a European thing.
Because it makes sense.
Yeah.
So, do you think you'd be better off here as a woman than you are that you were in Sweden?
just as a like what type of opportunities are we talking about?
Just in
it's
general.
a bit okay. God, this is gonna make me sound like a certain way. Like,
But if it's the truth, it's okay.
okay. So if you're just trying to be like so logical, just one thing you look at is the way that parental leave works. That you do get a long amount of time. You get days from the government that are paid for. You get part of your salary to take care of your kid. Like the government treats it like that's a job that you have. Like you have a future taxpayer. You need to take care of
Damn
this
right.
person.
Yeah. Make sure this fucking makes it through
Yes.
infancy. Yeah.
But that is split, or the perception from society, and actually there are a certain amount of days that the one parent can't take. It's like 90 days cannot be, at least one parent has to do 90 days of the total. Like you get a
You
year.
both can't have.
Yeah. But yeah, one parent can't take it all. And like dividing everything up and like everything is so 50-50. I guess this is not necessarily a logic
But
example,
it is. But it is.
but it's ignoring certain facts about gender and parenting, which whether or not you see it this way are like
Well,
it's
that's-
like less romantic in a sense.
What are
Like
you
there's
ignoring?
you're ignoring the fact that a woman is probably better at
See,
the first year of
that's
life.
where we disagree.
Okay, so
Yeah,
you're more
yeah.
Swedish than me then.
Yeah. And logically, it makes sense because I had 50% of, I made 50% of that kid. And I know for the
Wow.
entirety of life,
I'm gonna have
everybody
this
has
argument
said,
with you. Okay.
you know, like women, women have that maternal instinct and this and that. But as a dad, I can tell you for a fact that I would die for my kid just as quickly as you would.
Oh, but that's
And I
not,
would do anything for a kid just as quickly. And I get that I can't breastfeed my kid, but we have pumps nowadays, so it's cool.
So
Right? If you choose to do that.
I'll give my perspective because it's kind of along the lines of his, but not the same. My wife has told me that that I was better the first year than she was. Like now she's better at being a parent than I
okay.
am. But that first year, she says, just because she was so afraid of, in her words, of how small the baby was,
Killing
and
the baby.
yeah, and hurting.
Okay.
And she also went through or not fully, but you have those postpartum feelings, and I didn't have that, so I was able to be more like involved. She didn't breastfeed; it was formula, so
Whatever.
I was able to help out more than what maybe
But
somebody.
so if you're being logical,
This
right?
could be more individual, though.
But that's the
Yes.
logical way of thinking. If I'm a shitty dad, then logically, obviously, you should be the one to take care of the kid.
But that's what I'm not saying that that's how Sweden does it. Sweden does it as it has to be 50-50.
oh,
regardless of whether or not you're married or not.
Well, they don't make a distinction just if you're a parent.
So what if you're a parent and you're a single mom?
That doesn't exist. The
A single mom?
no, the dad no.
Hmm.
Like
There's no deadbeat dads, and
Sweden? Wow.
no.
That's interesting, but there's a reason for that.
Wait, what's the reason?
what's your
Because
reason?
This is an old society that's been around for fucking ever, and they've always been this logical, right?
Mhm.
And you raise a group of people who think, I made that kid. I own 50% of that kid. I'm going to be a responsible dad. When you start saying women are solely responsible for raising this kid for the first year of its life, or women have the maternal instinct, men just fuck and run
Yeah.
away, then you create a society like this one
Ah,
where we have that.
But there's another aspect that I would like to bring up.
The mic is yours.
The okay. There are bigger dichotomies than U.S. and Sweden.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Like you could look at
Mhm.
further, but it is pretty big. I would say it's big, pretty big differences. Sweden, they have this individualistic, like, you don't need family. You have your individual relationship with the state, the government. So even like when you raise children, like it's sort of, you're not doing it in the sense of like, I'm taking care of my own. Of course, there's some part of that, but you're like part of your responsibility to society, and this is your role in the government, because when that parent was a child, the state invested in them.
Mhm.
And they got free preschool, they got free medical. It's complete welfare state. So
Yes.
to talk about like deadbeat dad, it's not
Hate that word.
because like they're so logical or altruistic and wonderful.
I didn't say that.
Yeah. It's because they have just like a different attitude or relationship to it. They know that all I have to do is have a relationship.
They know that
if all you had to do was just like be
Be there.
nice to the kid, you didn't have to worry about paying bills, saving up for this kid's college, knowing that this
That's
kid
where I
is
was
gonna,
going.
yeah,
They know that Social Security is going to be there when they retire.
and
Well,
more,
it's a social
so
net,
much more.
And
Like
logically, that makes sense. If I do this, then I get this. So from a logical standpoint,
mm,
if I do what I'm supposed to do, then I'll be okay. Here, it's if I do what I'm supposed to do, who the fuck knows? Because I've been doing what I'm supposed to do, and I guarantee you when I retire, Social Security is not going to be there for me. So it 100% has to do with logic. I didn't say anything about altruism or doing the right thing or them being great parents. It's a logical way of thinking. It's a pragmatic way of thinking. If I do what I'm supposed to do, then everything will be okay. If I pay my taxes, as excessive as it might be, when I'm old and fragile, the state will take care of me. That is logical. And that is a good society to be in. When you're like, I do what I'm supposed to do now, they'll do what they're supposed to do later. We don't have that here.
something to be said, like why I get homesick quite often I mean, I don't want to move back here. Not ready to move back here, but why I get so homesick
Trump's
and why
gonna
I'm
be
here
a
now.
president
I
if
know
you
that
do.
too. I know. But like, if you have a society of just a bunch of walking individuals, it's actually not. It's not that nice.
Not
Actually
if they're not nice
that
individuals. You can be logical and nice. Like they're not
They're
mutually
plenty
exclusive.
nice.
So-
They're plenty nice, but like, if you express yourself too much, if you like go
Fuck 'em.
like.
Go over there and change the culture. You could be nice. You could be logical. You could be altruistic. You could be all those things and still be yourself. The things aren't mutually
I
exclusive.
don't know if you can
I didn't
really
say
be yourself.
Sweden was a perfect society.
I don't know if you can really be yourself. I think they
Sweden?
have a very narrow.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've heard that too. Like, you can't express yourself too much because,
No.
hey, you know,
I
like,
wanna
that's not
go.
cool. Stay in your lane. But
Yep.
again, I'm not saying Sweden's a perfect society, but I'm saying as far as societies go, they're not bad. And it's a good starting point, right? And we can make it better. So fucking go over there and make it better.
Maybe they have better the collective part of the society
Right.
down.
The
But
individual
isn't that-
part's lacking.
Yeah.
Isn't that being an advocate?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm not pushing it too hard. Right? So it's not going to backfire on me.
Exactly. Oh.
Tickets are $1,000. It's all right. Should go. 800 in November.
Let's go, George.
Hell
think-
yeah.
No. You go there in December.
Why?
Too cold?
Dark. Dark.
All
Dark.
the whole time. How long?
Sunrise is at 8:30. Sets at 2:30.
I'm down. Let's go.
Do you get seasonal depression?
Yeah. In the office, we have like a full spectrum light.
I could see it.
You just stare at it.
I would. I keep my house dark when it's like all year round.
Okay, Batman.
I mean, we are at the
Yeah.
latitude here in Dallas
Yeah.
as North Africa.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah.
We're,
I don't think
we're-
people realize
I
that,
was,
but yeah.
I didn't.
I was just in Spain. And I was out in the sun. I was like, this is nothing. Like, I can tell. I'm not gonna get that burnt. Like, I'll wear sunscreen, but I could probably be out for 20 minutes and not burn.
It'll be fine.
Whereas like here, like 20 minutes, like no, crisp. Like Spain
More
is
than
not
crisp.
that. It's pretty high
It's
in
not tropical.
latitude.
It's fucking cold over
It's
there.
like,
Have you ever been
yeah,
green
It's New
bean?
York.
it's like Boston.
Never
or
been
something.
to either, so I can't
Yeah.
say.
Yeah, but it's up there though.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Why did I bring that up?
I don't know.
I guess you were just talking about climate.
Uh,
Seasonal depression.
Oh, yeah, because we talked about going to Sweden.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, but I have a
So what's
lot
the best
of
time to visit?
midsummer. So
Like now?
What's the
for
same
some
summer?
reason,
Stupid.
midsummer is actually the summer solstice. That's the start.
July
Call it
21st?
midsummer.
Is that where they have the Midsommar?
No, that was it Sweden?
They
I don't know. Is
they're,
it?
I don't know.
they're one of the
Man,
few
watch the movie.
countries that still do this. Like Norway doesn't care anymore. The neighbor to the left
neighbor.
to the left is Norway. To the right is Finland. Finland does like this big bonfire thing, but Sweden is kind of the last one that celebrates this, where they build the maypole, which is a penis, male fertility
Yeah.
thing. They dance around.
Fucking pagans.
Yeah,
Throw
yeah,
the
yeah.
Dance around it and then what?
They
Oh,
worship
they
the dick.
did a very good job of like keeping that old pagan stuff. Or at
Even
least
with the new
realize
stuff?
it.
Yeah.
Even realize like here, like the Easter bunny and the Christmas tree, like all that stuff is pagan stuff, but we
talked
ignore
about
it.
it. Yeah,
we
We ignore it. But at least there they're like, yeah, that's a penis. We know. We go around it. We don't try to pretend that it's a cross with two circles. We don't pretend that. Because you can kind of look at it like, yeah, Jesus. Like, no, it is a male symbol. I don't know why you worship that in the pagan. That I don't know the history of.
Now I want to go see.
I thought you're supposed to. I thought you're supposed to worship the
Do they
female
burn it?
form.
I would. I mean, personally, but whatever.
I don't know. Fertility is important both ways.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah. You can't. Yeah.
Europe is amazing, though. Europe is amazing. So many cultures just
Do you think?
train rides away.
I've been to Spain That's why I said I didn't like the people there because I met them. Just they weren't really nice to me.
So you would for sure never come back to live with your family?
Yeah, but
You would, but you don't want to?
I'm not like that's more personal. Like my family is a bit healthier if I am.
Don't.
Oh.
Wait.
Would
What?
you healthier if she came back and didn't live with her?
But that's kind of like white people don't really like honor their parents that much, and I understand that. Like I'm a brat,
Family's not like
and I
ingrained.
accept that,
Okay.
and so I'm just not that. I'm not pulled to like.
Well,
parents.
I'm not asking would you come here for family, but would you just come back here because the U.S. is the greatest country on earth? As they say.
The U.S. is geographically nice, actually.
Mexico's
Yeah.
better.
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
It has
Geographically?
more. It has more to offer.
Yeah.
Like as far yes, that's true. But I don't.
So
speak
would
the
you come back?
language.
Would you move to Mexico?
A lot of expats going down there.
I liked Oaxaca a lot.
Did you?
That was fun.
Yes.
It's a
Really?
really nice
Yeah.
place, yeah.
I
Good
really want
place.
to go there.
You need
That
to
felt
go.
like
Maybe your
a,
bottle openers.
that felt like a village.
Where it came from.
It didn't feel like a big city.
Right. and
felt
it
like
is-
a
and it is
village.
a city.
Yeah, Oaxaca.
But
It didn't feel like
didn't
that.
feel that way.
Yeah.
It felt like kind of local, nice.
Mhm.
Guanajuato's the same, right?
Yep.
Yeah, Guanajuato is beautiful.
But I have not traveled enough
Okay.
to know that. I just know that I went there and then some other touristy place. and I
So
didn't like
no,
that much.
no to coming back to the U.S. Got it.
Wait. Oh, yeah, go.
I will say though, like I work in tech, so like from a tech standpoint, usually it's Europe that makes the big tech companies that the U.S. doesn't like control, or like they just let them do whatever the fuck they want. European companies are the ones, or European government actually is the ones that rein them in with their regulations and
Right.
like,
Because they care about their fucking people.
yeah, and
These things.
yeah,
This
if
is because of
Europeans.
Europeans.
Europe. They said stop
And
making
I fucking, you know what?
No,
Slow clap for Europe.
I'm
For
I'm
fucking
happy
Apple.
for
Fuck
that.
Apple.
Yeah.
And their proprietary
Okay.
fucking chargers.
If it wasn't for them, we'd still be using Lightning chargers.
Yes.
Yeah. So
you
Europe
have 15?
made you. I got the new one with USB-C.
I love that.
Yeah.
But okay, as a teacher, there's all this stuff from California, education, grade stuff. Can't use any of it because it is not GDPR. Do you know what that is? GDPR is like all EU like
Regulation,
data
right?
protection.
Yeah.
Oh.
So if it gives away your data in any way, it's like nope.
Really?
That's a bit.
California's not that great, though.
Oh, I'm with you on that.
So why are you worried about them?
I think she's talking more
That-
like the
that's-
features and stuff that she could.
sorry, no, it's more like that's where a lot of tech comes from.
Yeah.
A lot of ed tech comes from California.
Well, that's
Yeah.
changing because they're all fucking coming here. So
No, they're coming to Austin.
Yeah.
Texas.
Well, Texas, yeah.
Yeah, because they ruined their good thing, and now they're being hypocrites.
Well, they're running away from regulation and they're coming to Texas.
Now I'm gonna be the one who says the bad things, and you're gonna be like, oh. Okay, that's fine.
I
I'm the guest.
agree with
I'm
the
the
bad things
guest.
too.
I'm
I
the
agree with the
guest.
bad things
That's
too.
okay.
Fuck California. Fuck regulations.
Fuck California. That's the only place I've been robbed.
Really? In California?
Only place I've been robbed.
You lived in Europe.
I lived in Europe, and I used to work in South Dallas.
Yeah.
My
Yes.
wife got robbed in South Dallas.
I'm not saying it doesn't
Oh, yeah.
happen, but I got robbed like almost immediately in San Francisco.
You get off.
Yeah.
Sitting there, what were you doing?
San Francisco's rough. I was
It
over there and
is.
I was a little scared.
Were you
It
just-
is.
Really?
San
Yes.
Francisco is rough. Yeah.
I gotta go.
You wouldn't make it.
I want to go
George
just for the
Stone.
redwoods, but
It's a different kind of rough.
yeah.
Okay.
I hear that I have a friend who moved out there, and they have like a job for human poop scooper
There's no.
on the
Dude,
street.
on the
How much do they pay?
sidewalk. On the sidewalk.
In Sacramento?
San Francisco.
San Francisco. Yep, that's a job.
You're just trying to go get breakfast and there's fucking human excrement on the sidewalk. Not cool.
It's disgusting.
It's not cool.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with homeless people if you make a conscious decision to just fucking live your life that way. That's fine. Go find a fucking restroom.
But they do the ones in Texas too. You know what I mean?
I don't give a fuck where you live. If
I've
you're
never
homeless
seen, yeah.
and you choose to be homeless, good for you. Go find a fucking restroom.
But Europeans, it's East Coast, West Coast. This is flyover stuff. Texas, they all know Texas, of course.
They know Dallas.
They know Dallas, of course.
And they think we all wear hats and ride horses.
Yes.
Which we should.
Yes.
You don't have a horse?
But it's hard for me to explain these concepts to
Swedish?
yes, that like why California is not that nice, and that I feel like they're just
Just think beach, you know?
From
Yeah.
shows and I get you. What do they think about Texas? Cowboys and
They think cowboys. They think Dallas, the TV show. They think cowboy hats. They think horses.
Dude,
Yeah.
Dallas,
Yeah.
the TV show, like,
Fucked up Dallas. For
the
entire world.
perception for a whole lot of people. Yeah.
I've never even been there. The South Fork is like
I have. It's pretty cool.
you been?
Yeah.
I got a tour.
No, so they have a lot of events there now. It's like an event space, but they have a barbecue cook-off that my company participates in every year. So that's why I've been there.
did you participate?
Mhm.
Did you win?
Nah, we never win. We just go because we like to drink.
Did you dress
So,
up? Do you
No.
dress up to go there?
I don't wear a cowboy hat.
No.
They don't make them big enough for my head.
I will say, like country music. Maybe this is more age though. Like as a kid, just hated it so much. But being abroad, I might listen to it a little bit longer than I did
nostalgia.
before. Yeah, I think maybe it's that.
Yeah, a little
Yeah,
bit.
Maybe homesick.
I think it's that. Could be that. It could be that. I don't reject it as hard as I did before. Like, yeah. Before I just thought like the lyrics were so dumb.
Why? What's wrong
Okay,
with your
but-
dog leaving and your pickup breaking down?
Your
That's
pickup
the
truck.
exact attitude that I had. But I'm telling you, you can get fed up with too logical. I'm telling you, you can.
My wife is fed up with too logical. I'll tell
I don't
you that
know. You're
much.
in tech.
Yeah.
You're surrounded by these people.
I get fed up with him. She's not lying. Yeah. But it's, yeah, I don't know. I guess I do have a skewed perspective because I am surrounded by people like that. But I don't know. Sometimes it's a
What's the
breath of
opposite of
fresh
being
air.
too logical?
Being emotional.
Emotional, yeah.
And
Do you think you can get fed up with too emotional?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so that's fair.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I think
Definitely.
the balance is
It's
in
there.
between.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you more logical than emotional, or not emotional than logical?
I think I'm quite logical, but I'm a female, so.
So you're more emotional than
Yes.
logical.
But me, admitting that says a lot. But I would not
you know
deny
what that
it.
you know what that says? That you're logical.
Sure. Okay. I also think that emotions are there for a reason, and if you study neurology,
Mm-hmm. I don't
they
discount emotions.
are how you react to them or notice them is the big thing. But having an emotion, I think, is useful. People
And
who
it's human.
don't, yes, and people who don't react, don't have emotions. That's weird to me. Like, have a reaction, but then pause. Like, why do I feel threatened right now, or why do I feel scared, or why do I feel like?
But that's
you know.
okay though, right?
Yeah, I think yes, but how you react to that, but having the emotion, being emotional, I guess that's you have to tease that out.
I think understanding how or why you felt a certain way is the logical part of it kicking in. Like being able to analyze and retrospection and being able to like ask yourself, why did I do that or why did I feel like that? That's the logical side of it. If you're just too emotional, you're not really thinking about any of that. You're just living.
What are you
on the-
teaching?
Logic's out the door.
It's just gonna sound weird, but what are you teaching Lisa?
She's 4,
It doesn't
so
matter. It starts,
I'm
it starts
trying
now.
to teach her big problems, little problems
Mhm.
with her emotions.
But
But I I want to go back to this. I do. I like that you brought up my daughter.
Mhm.
But I want to go back this. Would a man ever want, because I have seen some ownership lately in like men taking like vulnerability classes and things like that. Would you ever recognize that as a female trait that we have honed very well?
Yes.
And that
Oh, yeah.
that you would, because I see these are things led by men leading men, and that
No,
like
I've learned
would
from
What do
you
you mean?
would you value that as like from a female perspective?
I've learned from women
You have
for that.
okay,
Yeah.
but do you have a strong mom?
I-
Or
I
okay,
think
or,
so.
or a wife, wife, like
I definitely have a strong wife.
wife.
Yeah.
Okay, so you were learning that through.
A lot through her and a lot through previous relationships.
I have not noticed that. I have noticed like men taking notice to their vulnerability side, like it's like this separate thing. Like, oh, I'm noticing I can be emotional and vulnerable now, and like it's
I
like
think that's a
women
very
have sort of.
female way to look at it. Because it's
But that's
not
what
like,
I'm asking.
well, I'm telling you, vulnerability and feelings and emotions and all these things are not new to men.
no,
Emoting these
but
things
doing the
Yeah.
work,
is new to men.
doing the work of it, because
What do you mean by doing the work?
well, if you look at like the Renaissance, like
Well, there were a bunch of
1700s,
faggots, so it's
that is the well, or even further back, like the Greeks.
yeah, also a bunch of faggots. They have like gay
Like,
orgies
this
all
is
the
a
time.
this is a bunch of men.
Yeah, having male on male orgies. It's,
Yes, that's true. But
so
like,
they were very very much in touch.
and
with
also,
their,
okay, you should be fair. I'm sure this happened in East Asia as well. But like logic, like they like coined it.
that was the Greeks.
Yeah, yeah. But I don't know. To be fair, I think the Persians and the Arabs.
Oh yeah, no, they all had a
did some
part in it
stuff
for sure.
too.
Yeah, yeah.
And then the Renaissance, like all this thought and theory and stuff
And logic
and logic.
Yeah.
Exactly.
came into.
Yeah, very
Right.
male dominated thing. I don't know. But it also seems like but you said yes. You answered my question. I don't know if that's
No, I don't think it's I feel like a lot of men look towards a man for a role model or for guidance. Like I definitely do think that. And also I do have some men in my life that, like, honestly, if it wasn't, my dad is a emotional guy. If it wasn't for him being like that growing up, I don't know that I'd be as comfortable.
What do you
With
mean
my-
by emotional?
He'd cry watching movies. He'd love on you. He's
So
like
there's a difference between being emotional, which
And
means
showing-
feeling emotionals,
showing
and
emotion.
showing emotions.
You're right.
So that was my
Yeah.
point.
Yeah, emoting.
Emotions are not new to men. We've always had emotions. We just
Yeah,
weren't
Don't show
allowed
them.
to show them, right?
yeah,
Because that's not being masculine.
yeah. Especially in
And
machista
nowadays,
cultures.
it's more
In
acceptable.
our culture,
that
yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
really interested in that. And because I don't think sorry, I get excited. My voice gets
Go ahead.
I don't think women know that.
He
No,
100% agree
yeah.
with you.
Like that's news to me.
What do you think? We're like fucking
We-
robots or what?
Yes.
No, like
Women walking around think that you literally don't experience the world.
So-
We
the
experienced
same
the
way.
world, and we were taught from a very young age. And this is, God damn it,
I'm-
we're going off on a tangent. Look,
Is
listen,
it all taught?
listen.
Is it
This is
all
what the
taught?
hashtag Me Too movement got wrong, right? It's not. Yes, we're a bunch of fucking dickheads, but there's a reason for it, right? We've been bred from when we were kids to be masculine and to be man and to do this and to do that and to not cry and to not show emotion and to do all the things. So with that comes all the shit that we do that is wrong. If you want to fix that, raise your kids to be good men, which means if you want to cry, fucking cry. If you have an emotion, show it. Don't keep it inside and then let it out at the wrong time.
yeah,
I respectfully disagree. I think that, of course, there's a spectrum. I think that for biological reasons, that I experience emotions differently
For
from
sure.
you.
Yeah.
From infancy. But it is nice to hear that you, or be reminded that
we do experience emotions.
that you experience them. Yes, I don't think
But
it's all
you
conditioning.
understand that
I
from
don't think it's all
infancy,
conditioning.
But I didn't say it was conditioning. Okay, I did say it was conditioning to some extent. But the point is, from infancy, we both experience emotions. But from infancy, you're allowed to express them. You're allowed to cry. You're allowed to feel all these things, and we're not. We're told men don't cry. We're told man up. There's no woman up fucking saying. There's a man up saying, right? Hide your tears. Just fucking push through. And then when we do it, we're fucking blasted because #MeToo. So yeah, we experience it, but we keep it in because we're not allowed to express it. It's always been there. We're fucking human. We're not robots. Of course we experience emotions. Of course we feel pain. Of course we feel all the things that you feel, but we can't express it like you can. Because that's not masculine.
To each other.
Or to you.
That's actually fair. I see you there. I don't see why you can't express it to each other.
We can.
Because we're
We
all-
do it in our own way. And it's a way that you think it's fucking weird, right? Like when we slap each other in the butt, when we fucking high five, when we go out and drink, and we go out and do with all the stupid shit that men do, all the stupid shit that men do, that's us expressing emotion. That's us commiserating with each other. That's us saying, God damn it, I know what you're going through and I fucking get it, but I can't cry with you. So let's go beat some dude up. Because that's what we're allowed to express, because that's masculine.
Personal anecdote, like my dad wasn't raised by his dad because my grandfather worked in the U.S. and like he wasn't around during his childhood because he was always working here. And my dad was pretty much raised by his like older brothers, and his oldest brother, he had a stroke like 2 years ago. And when we went to like visit him, my dad found out for the first time that his older brother cries during movies too. He never knew that. Like it's just a thing that was never conveyed to him, or that he ever knew that his older brother didn't show emotion, because that was a thing that I'm assuming,
Can't do.
that's me assuming,
Can do.
that they told him like, yeah, don't show your emotions or anything like that. But I'm grateful that my dad did show emotions around us, because it was never a taboo or like a bad thing for me, because I saw this guy crying growing up, so it must be okay. And so I never hid those emotions.
This shows up without religion. I'm telling you. This
Yeah.
shows up. You have
This
this.
has nothing to do with religion.
Yeah.
I think that's just human nature.
This.
Yeah.
I mean, but why?
That's just the way it is.
Yeah, but that's something that struck what you said. Like, if my husband was super emotional with me and showed that side, I don't think I would actually like that.
Exactly. Like,
Yeah.
and we get it. We understand why.
Yeah, but that's hard for me to admit. Actually,
And I
I think
appreciate
that's
that,
a-
actually. You admitting that, I
Yeah.
appreciate it. Because most women won't. They're like, no, if it's fine. If you want to cry, cry. You
And
can
then
say
when
that
it
all you
happens-
want, but at the
yeah.
end of the day, it's
I
not
don't,
that
cool.
make
I
you
don't
feel?
want to reinforce this though,
It's not
because this
cool.
is my person. This is personal to
Yeah.
me. But maybe some women are working really hard with their boyfriends, husbands
Yeah.
to like open up more.
I think it's
I
a
don't
slow
know.
progress
But
thing.
What would that make you feel? Like, how would you see your husband after that?
Like, you don't want to step into the mom role.
I can see that. I can see that.
Like, I remember like having an infant. Like, I take care of baby, he takes care of me, and
Mm.
that's sort of the
You don't want to have to baby too.
I just
Yeah.
want to take care of baby
Yeah.
too, though.
okay.
Like, I literally want to take care of baby too. It's cool. And you can take care of me while I take care of baby. It's fine.
I don't perceive from as little. I have known you for a somewhat decent amount of time. I don't perceive as like you and Yvette's marriage as non-traditional though.
It is definitely non-traditional.
Okay, enlighten me. I feel like I should know this through Yvette though. I want to hear.
But you know why
I
you
definitely-
don't? Because it's non-traditional. Yvette's not. She's a non-traditional woman, and it's just not. It's just not.
But she does not identify as that though. She
She
would
does.
not openly. Because there's a
Maybe
few.
not because there's a taboo associated with
Yeah,
that. Yeah,
I think like a few things because I have sort of like expressed myself to be like, for example, I'm atheist. I'm not religious at all.
same.
And I said, well, and I don't think Yvette's religious either, but I know her family is.
Mhm.
And she said, like, oh, you're a Joe.
Yeah, no.
Like, she couldn't really even say it. Because I feel bad talking about Chris. I have a lot of respect
she's
for your
supposed to be
wife.
sitting there fact checking us.
Yes, I have
She
a lot of
really?
respect for your wife. But I would say, yeah, I don't think like I'm surprised hearing these things just because from I know from her that my perspective is that you guys are quite traditional.
Not at all.
No.
No.
Okay. But
I don't know what else to say.
is that something that she has agreed with, or is
You could ask her when we get out of here, but yeah, I think so. Yes.
okay? I think that's great then.
Cheers.
And yeah, I guess defining what is traditional should be.
The next topic.
Or we can talk about Dance of the Dragons.
You
Also
sure
the
can,
dragons.
and that would give me a nice out to leave.
You
Because
can't leave. You can't leave. Your kid's fine. There's another beer over there for you. It'll be.
There's
okay.
no beers in
There's
here.
another beer over here.
no,
No beers.
let me just.
Go ahead.
If
Take
you
it
wanted to
easy.
tie it into Dance of the Dragons, I think it's also an example of how Aegon's not allowed to show his emotions.
Wait, which one's Aegon? The king?
Aemon, no,
yeah, the
Aemon.
king. No, the king.
Aegon? You think so?
Aegon. Yeah, because they wanted him to be just the perfect, like his mom
Like-
in the last episode literally said, just, or not the
Do
one
nothing.
that came out yesterday,
Yeah,
but
I don't
the
know.
week before.
It's not that he wasn't allowed to show his emotions.
It's just he's not allowed to do anything. Be an individual person. They want
Just-
him to just follow orders.
That's
there.
what you got from it?
They want to rule through him. They don't
Well,
want him
yeah,
to
I
rule.
Because he's a kid.
I took the same thing.
Exactly. And they want to
it's not
manipulate
because-
him.
No.
You don't
He
think
doesn't
so?
have the experience. He doesn't have the, like,
Do you think they would give up power?
her words were, do you think wearing the
Crown
crown
gives you
imbues
wisdom?
with wisdom?
Yeah.
And the answer is no.
Yeah, but who put him in that position?
She did.
Exactly. So it's all her fault, and she's blaming the kid for.
Well, her point is,
No.
yes, you are the king, but you're a child. And these men are in their positions, and they're here to advise you on what
You're
to
our
do.
pawn.
But look at it from his perspective. This is a kid who his
I
whole
get
life.
it. From his perspective, it's like, I'm the fucking king. I should be able to do whatever the fuck I
No.
want.
Before he was king, he was raised to be. He was told his whole life, your older sister is going to be the queen.
Yes.
Your
Oh,
dad.
no. We've said this before.
Yeah.
This is the reason I don't hate Aegon.
Yeah, he's
Because-
a great written character.
Yes. Because from day one, he was told you're not going to be the
Yeah.
king.
Yeah,
And from day one, he decided, I'm just going to fuck around and find out.
yeah.
And when dad
Now
died
they want him-
and they want him to be king, he's like, no.
They
I'm
want him
going to go over
suddenly,
here, I'm going to fuck these bitches, and I'm going to drink this liquor.
and
And this is
she's
what I'm going to do. And they're like, no, you're king. You're like, all right, let's go.
and she's saying like, just because you get the crown imbues you wisdom. Well, you took a kid that was fucking around and finding out,
Yeah,
and then
so,
just
but
thrust him
neither
in
one
this
of them is
position
wrong.
of power.
They're both right.
I didn't.
They're both
you're
right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He said, I told you I didn't want to be king, but you made me king, so this is what you get. And she's like, well, you're king, but you're still an idiot. Neither one of them is wrong. At the
Yeah.
end of the day,
she's right about like what
he's
they.
an idiot.
Yeah, and also what he needs to do. He needs to listen to
Listen,
the people
yeah,
around him.
Yeah.
But she fucked up a lot to get as a parent, like to just get
For
a
sure.
kid to that point. Forget about the power dynamic that you give him. You raised that kid completely wrong, and
Yeah.
you
So
didn't
they're
give
both
a,
right.
Yeah, or both wrong.
Or both
Oh,
right.
both
Yeah.
wrong, yeah.
I think that's a more
So
accurate
what do
description.
we think of this episode?
Okay, so that was last episode. We didn't talk about it. What did you get out of this episode? Because This episode, all I got was their power struggles, I guess, between now Rhaenyra and Damon. Oh, I guess.
They didn't really focus as much on them. I felt like it was more so.
I just watched it like 2 hours ago, so I'm
Actually, maybe you might be kind of right though, because it does focus a lot on Damon. Like,
and him building his or trying to.
well, he's like also telling them, "Call me king," and like it's kind of like questionable if he's raising an army for her or raising an army for
He
himself.
said it
Yeah,
pretty much. It's for me.
yeah,
Yeah.
So like it's
and if she wants to join me,
yeah. So it is kind of like you said that it does focus on their power struggle dynamic between the two of them.
Mhm.
But it also did show like the consequences of using the equivalent of a nuke, a dragon in war. They're talking about like Kristen was saying, I saw things that pretty much scarred him. He was saying like men and
Bitch. God,
I know.
that guy's a little bitch.
He
I don't
fucked
even know
around
he's a
and-
big character in
he
the
fucked
show. He's
around
a
and
little
found
bitch.
out.
Yeah,
You-
that's exactly what happened.
yeah.
He's like, I'm this big dude, and then he went and fucked around and found out he was not a big dude.
Forget about the fact that his whole motivation is that he got turned down by Rhaenyra in the first season, and he's been
oh, that's literally
he's been on like a tyrant, like just trying to get revenge on her.
What's her name? Allison, taking the morning, basically
The morning after pill, the
Morning
abortion
So
pill.
was like, oh, nobody wants your kid.
Yeah, he's a bitch.
Wait, how do they have morning after pill? I thought this was like set in a.
Yeah, it was like a
No, it's
potion.
It's a tea.
Yeah,
It's a tea.
they take
Yeah.
a tea,
It's a tea potion.
but it
It's a
was an
tea, you
abortion.
drink it and it's an abortion.
Yeah,
So
Wait, that was in Game of Thrones too. What? Somebody
Yeah,
took
they
it
had
in
it.
Game of
Was
Thrones.
it?
Yeah.
yeah. I don't remember.
who,
But I
but
watched Game of Thrones as it came out. I'm waiting to like sit down and
you need to watch it again.
Watch it
but
all
that
over
that
again.
tea was in Game of Thrones also. Somebody took it. I don't remember who.
Yeah.
Somebody took it.
They had lots of abortions, I guess, and
That's one should.
So what's the how did y'all like the ending? What's basically them talking about I guess using other
So we have
bastards, I
that
guess?
one guy, bastards. Yeah, the guy that's with the sick daughter,
the Smith, the
the
blacksmith.
blacksmith.
Yeah,
He's a bastard Targaryen. He's got the white hair.
yes.
And then the guy that was in the bar talking about
Yeah,
how
that
he
him
was,
too. Him too.
he's Damon's brother, bastard brother.
Mhm.
He's gonna ride a dragon, I think, in this show.
I know he gets a dragon. I kind of got spoiled, but I know
Yeah.
he gets a dragon.
they're all going to be recruiting dragon riders pretty much next
Is
episode.
a Valerian going to be a dragon? Have a dragon as well? Are they getting?
Are they?
Who?
So I don't know if they're actually.
'Cause
Can they get
Are they
dragons?
Targaryens too?
Valarians?
Targaryens too, but Valarians. I don't know if they're.
the.
Yeah, I think they can. I don't think there's a.
I think as long as you got white hair.
That's where I was gonna go.
Well, I think they even talk about it like. I thought that was kind of like the point of her son bringing it up, that he's not like a full-blooded Targaryen.
Yeah,
And he's
that's
riding.
why he.
Oh.
That's
Yeah.
exactly what he said.
Yeah, so like if I can ride a dragon, why can't other
Other bastard
Yeah.
dragon.
yeah, I that's what I got out of that scene.
I didn't think about it like that. Yeah, you're right.
Because yeah, he is technically like a bastard.
Yeah, isn't he Sir Christian's?
No, he's
Who
a
was
strong
it?
guy. That's one of the strongs.
I
We
forgot
fucked
his
that up
name.
when we first started talking about him, but yeah.
Okay.
Something strong. I forgot his first name.
Yeah, because that Strong or whatever his name was died, right?
He was her knight.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
dead.
Yeah,
he
he's
was like
dead.
her protector or something that
Yeah.
she was fucking.
Okay. What else happened in this episode?
A lot of politics.
A lot happened in this episode, actually.
Yeah.
Aemon became the Prince Regent.
Prince
King
Regent? King?
They called him Prince Regent,
Prince
but he's
Regent, okay.
practically king.
Yeah. Is he?
Which means Allison has no support from anybody on the council, including
Oh,
Circle.
that
Well,
scene where it's like focusing on her and she's just like she was about to burst, right? She was about to blow up.
Where
but-
the audio starts like going out. Well, it's like the way I saw it is she's realizing that the whole reason for that war that they started is because they didn't want a woman taking power.
Yep.
And so she was
when
trying
she
to
was
put
trying
her,
to take power.
yeah, she's trying to put her
They
name
didn't want-
forward.
Oh.
And they were like, well, we can't put a woman in power if we're arguing that a woman shouldn't be in power. So they passed her up and
Yeah.
chose her
What I
son.
didn't like was that it was that obvious. Like somebody actually said that.
Yeah, they had to say the line.
That was stupid.
But I mean, think of the average audience viewer that might not get that.
Okay, well that insults me because
Well, that insulted me because I didn't get it.
no, I got it.
No,
but I
I-
didn't think they didn't
Like
need
I
to say
got it. Yeah. Oh, okay. Wait, I got
That
it.
is annoying though when you feel clever that you got it and then they say it.
Yeah, you're like fuck.
Ah, okay.
This is what they think of me.
Yeah, but Westworld was the other way. I was like,
Westworld
I
didn't
need some
show
clues
anything.
here.
I only watched
am not
season 1 of
understanding.
Westworld, so I don't.
I watched seasons 1 and 2 and half of 3. I
2,
think.
I was like, please explain something to me.
I've never seen it, so I can't say much.
It's a great show. Season 1's a great show.
Season 1 was good.
Yeah.
I didn't watch the rest of them.
Ah, okay. I think there was 3 more episodes left. Adriana was saying that she's thinking it's
Is
gonna
there
end.
3
on-
or is there 10 episodes this season? Because last season had 10.
I thought it was only 2 left, but that things changed. But do we think it's gonna end on a cliffhanger,
She's fine. Everything's
and
fine.
that she's gonna the all-out war is gonna be in season 3?
Dude, I think it's all out war happening now.
Do you think so? I don't know.
They already had like the dragons going up against each other.
I mean, that was like a first battle type of thing.
well, the first battle of 2. What up until
the
that point,
biggest
the
ones?
people thought dragons are gods. Now they're like, oh, dragons can die. And
Ooh.
also think about the fact that the people in King's Landing they're being starved. They don't have enough food, and now they're being
now they're
shoved-
locked in.
Yeah, they're
I
locked
saw
in.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, there's gonna be a
Hey,
revolt.
so who's that one lady that asked to go into King's Landing? Someone explain.
She was a spy from Rhaenyra. They haven't said what she's gonna do yet. So
Don't you guys need like a flow chart or something, like a map of
Yeah, we need-
characters?
we
Like
like
you're
to-
going to
String
be
chart.
discussing it. Like seriously,
We
That's
really
how I
should
felt
have
with
like
Game of
a
Thrones.
Wait,
yeah.
we'll pull it up.
Like
next
a
time, put it
recurring-
right there, the family tree, and see how that.
the family tree of the Targaryens. Good luck.
just to see how everyone's related.
Yeah.
And yeah, that would be useful.
They're all
We actually
cousins.
should probably have that pulled up when we talk about this.
Yeah, they're all cousins.
Game of Thrones is one of those few shows that I don't skip the previously on whenever I watch it because I need to remember what happened or who's connected to who.
I don't skip the intro. That's it.
Yeah.
What else?
What else happened? What's his name? What's the first son's name of the of Rhaenyra?
Jace.
Jace. So, can someone explain the significance of him getting the bridge?
Yeah.
Bridge? Well, that's how you get from the north to the south.
And he has the north. The Starks are coming from the north, so he thought if they can just go through the river run, then they'd be able to get to the south faster. Versus if they didn't have the Frey's support, they'd have to go like all the way around.
Oh,
So he's trying to cut off Christian
Dipshit.
Cole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That guy. I call him
okay.
dipshit, but yeah.
Yeah, all
Kristen.
right, all right. Okay, cool. I think that sums it up in a sense.
They literally had the meeting on the bridge.
Yeah,
You're like,
I mean, I got that.
wouldn't be
part.
clearer than that, yeah.
No, I was like, hey, who's coming? But I was watching it while just, running around, trying to get ready. So
I like watching it because it's also like a George R.R. Martin, when he wrote like all the characters in the books and all that, he got inspired a lot by English history. And like a lot of the families and characters are based off of like real actual historical families. And the War of Roses was based off of, or actually what happened with in Game of Thrones with Robb Stark, the Red
King of
Wedding.
the North, the Red
Yeah.
Wedding. Yeah.
Yeah, it's based off of like apparently the War of the Roses.
Holy shit.
Stuff like that. So it's all like kind of rooted in history.
Do they in Spanish speaking culture in Central South America? Sorry to spin off.
No, good. Go ahead.
Do they have this romanticism with like Spanish king and queen and all of this, the way that
To some extent.
Americans just
Don Quixote exists.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's not as bad, but yes, to some extent.
do they like make films and
Yes.
all of this based on?
Yeah.
That's interesting because I'm kind of sick of actually like British, because I've learned more about other like European dynasties. Like,
And you found out that the British weren't that great to begin with?
no, it's just that the story gets over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
there
yeah.
could be a crown version of many other countries.
Yeah.
Because the story's always the same. It never changes. Like,
But there's like their own. There's
The history is different.
scandal and
Yeah.
like
I always found like the Russian
yes.
what's it called, the emperor family or the Tsar?
Tsar.
Yeah, the when they got murdered like in World War One, I think, or what was it? They all got assassinated.
World War I, yes.
Bolshevik.
Holy shit.
Revolution.
Bolshevik, yeah. Like that, I think that's fascinating, and there's not
Yeah.
really like a.
But it's the same.
I mean, it
how's
is-
that different from the French Revolution?
It's the
I
same
think it's
thing,
quite
but
different.
it
How?
is a different history, and it's different backgrounds, characters. Like,
Oh yeah.
It's different names, but the story's the same.
I guess if you want to
I don't
generalize
think
like
so. I
that,
disagree.
Come on.
All right. I'll give you an example. And damn it, I have to use Sweden again because that's all I have. That's all I know. So the Swedish king didn't have a heir. And this was maybe 1800s. And I just love this story. I was like, why haven't they made a film on this?
Maybe you should.
Yeah. No, filmmaker.
Okay, just write it down.
That
We'll make the film.
so didn't have an heir, and they at the time they thought France was just the height of everything. Like they tried to copy. Central Europe was a lot more progressive. Scandinavia was a little bit behind, so they're trying to copy France and stuff. So anyway, didn't have an heir, and they were fighting between like, should it be the second command, should it be the nephew, that kind of thing.
Oh.
So they go to France and they say, Napoleon, can you give us a king? Basically, he goes through his ranks and picks like some general or whatever. It's like, hey, you go be the king of Sweden. And so from now you look at like they're like the king, like they're darker hair. They have the Prince Philip. He's like French looking, that they just like hired just out of nowhere, like nobility. And they hired him to get Finland back to Sweden. And he gets there and he just goes, nah.
I mean, it's cold.
Yeah. I just, when I heard this story, because I had been fed is not the right word. That's too negative. But I've been hearing like yeah, I like the crown and I like British history, but when you realize how much of this stuff is based off of like just Britain, like this one little tiny island, it just made me curious of like all these other stories.
well, they were the most successful colonizers in the world.
I mean, like, hands down, they colonized every fucking thing.
Spain, Portugal?
No,
No,
England.
England is the
But
number.
Portugal though, I mean,
They got Brazil.
up there.
That's it. I mean, it's a big country.
I mean, there's a
granted,
reason
but-
why
But, yeah.
English, Spanish,
But
and
the-
French
like-
are the biggest.
but those stories are not repeated in Hollywood.
No, because it doesn't
No.
sell. It's not American.
Well, why not? Why
What's
do we
the word?
have this? Where do we have this weird fascination?
Right, it's not American exceptionalism. It doesn't sell in Hollywood unless it is.
What does British have to do with American exceptionalism?
We beat them every time.
Are you talking about American Revolution? What are you
It
talking
does-
about?
like in Hollywood, you're never going to see a story where Britain wins. Name one.
No, but what you're referring to is like the inspiration.
yeah, for like
No, what I'm saying is in Hollywood, what sells Hollywood is American exceptionalism.
to her
Amer-
point though, like
Kingsman.
Bridgerton and like that's
But that's not Hollywood.
technically Hollywood. Netflix is
How
now,
would you not call that Hollywood?
Because Netflix is all over the world.
Oh, I guess.
but they came out of
Netflix has-
Silicon Valley.
Kingsman?
Huh?
Kingsman? No?
Like Netflix literally has... Netflix just buys shit, right? If they make their own thing,
Yeah.
they make it in Hollywood, and it's Hollywood exceptionalism. They're not going to make... Like, I watch... Because I'm stupid and I watch horror movies and horror shows.
Okay.
And Netflix has a lot of them. And most of them are like Korean or Indian or whatever. It's not Hollywood.
But Bridgerton is Hollywood. It was like made and produced in Hollywood, and it is a show just
But it's a
purely
show about-
fantasizing.
You brought
It's
up
fantasizing like monarchy society.
India.
Yeah.
That is freaking rich culture.
What?
There's so much history there. But why doesn't that come
What?
through in Hollywood?
Have you seen Monkey Man?
I have not.
but I'm
But
saving that one.
You
I'm
gotta
saving
watch
that one
Why?
You gotta
for a
watch
sleepy
Monkey
day.
Man.
Is it good?
It's a great movie,
There's-
and it's by a guy that's Indian, and
Yeah.
he definitely, you can tell there's a lot of Indian politics
tell
and
it's good.
undertones. Yeah,
Yeah.
Like, he made it with passion. Like it's a passion project.
Just the stories. I mean, I know that people want to identify with like the language and
I don't. I just want a good story.
Yeah. Why don't you watch Bollywood?
Because I don't like the music and the dancing and all that bullshit.
Too much
come on,
dancing.
go watch.
I
You see
always-
Netflix on
I watched a
Triple R?
lot of it. Like Yvette's BFF in high school was Pakistani, and they were all into Bollywood. So I've watched plenty of that shit, and it
Okay.
doesn't
For-
interest me.
For years, I always thought that Slumdog Millionaire was a Bollywood movie because
No,
I had
that's a
seen
Hollywood
clips.
movie.
I had seen clips of them dancing a Bollywood number at the end of the movie.
No,
When I finally watched it earlier this year, I was like, that's a fucking good movie. And yeah, it's straight up Hollywood movie. Yeah. But
but have you watched Bollywood movies? Like they're not
No.
bad. Like the dancing,
No.
and all
Yeah,
that,
no,
it's
no.
good. Like
Yeah.
I like it. I enjoy it. It's cool.
yeah.
What about
But
it?
I think I'm trying to separate the production from the story.
Story.
Oops. Oh, my thumb.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, we have
Spill
napkins.
there. Napkin. Yes,
shit, we
I'm
have
talking about the
napkins.
stories that we don't hear. We don't hear so much. I'm just this is me personally. I'm just kind of like tired
Of what?
of
Hollywood?
no, yeah, of Hollywood. Like just looking at Britain for inspiration.
Oh,
I guess putting them on a pedestal and always like adapting their history and stories.
or I guess.
Well, I mean, it is
Yeah.
our history, right? It's like you saying, I'm tired of Mexico putting Spain on a pedestal. And like I was talking, it's part of our history.
I'm not British.
Huh?
I mean, what do you mean?
It's part of your history, though, as an American.
No more than like French.
Yeah.
I mean, like
Or German or any other.
Okay, but it is generally understood that
Yeah,
the
that
U.S. is
American.
an American
Yeah.
or British thing,
I think there's a lot more stories out there.
for sure.
I think
What
they
I'm saying is-
redo Robin Hood every 10 years. They redo a lot of these fable stories that come from like the Grimm's brother things. I guess some of that is
German.
yeah.
I agree with that though, because like there's do you know the story about the Aztec warrior, like the famous he's like carrying a princess on his arms, and it's like
What the
they
fuck's
always
his
make a
name?
mural.
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
He's in every painting,
yeah, he's like in every Mexican painting. They always
and
show.
also in every like lowrider truck. He's in the back.
It's this-
carrying the chick.
It was an Aztec warrior that was
What the fuck's his
he
name?
I can't remember, dude.
Damn it!
But I remember the story that he was like he was supposed to marry the chief's daughter, but he was supposed to go to war. He goes to war, he comes back, and the chief's daughter dies, and so like he's holding her in this famous mural or painting, and that's a story that's never been made or it's not going to be made, but that's like Mexican history right there that we all know about it. Like you've seen it at some point.
Like every time you walk into
Yeah.
a Mexican restaurant, there's just Aztec warrior
But
carrying
is
this
that
dead
glorified in Hollywood yet?
chick.
No.
That's what he's saying.
Yeah, it should
that's
be.
an example.
Popocatépetl
Yeah, Popocatépetl or Popo.
No, that's a volcano.
or an Iztaccíhuatl.
no, he
George,
that's
what?
The only thing that comes to mind is
That's what it
the
says.
Mel
No,
Gibson one.
That's it.
What's that one called? The Mel Gibson movie?
It's so violent.
Apocalypto.
Yes.
Apocalypto, yeah.
And apparently he got a lot of stuff wrong.
Very. Oh, but
A lot of
but
stuff
still a good movie though. Jeez,
I remember liking
I
it.
thought that
growing
was
up.
good.
Yeah, it's been several years
I
since I
probably
watched
watched
it.
it.
That's his name.
No, he's right.
What is it?
Popocatépetl.
Popocatépetl is a fucking volcano.
Well,
That's what his
the
name?
warrior's name
Yeah.
is
Let me see it.
Popocatépetl. Chinga.
Can I see the
The picture.
painting?
the painting?
Yeah, like they made a lot of different paintings like showing it.
Popocatépetl. I hate that I can't pronounce it.
Not dissing you for liking History Connection, though. Sorry. Originally, back
It sounded
then.
like it.
I'm a big fan of history. It doesn't matter if it's English history. I'm not American.
You don't identify as American?
Well,
No,
technically now I became a citizen like 2 years ago. But I was born in Mexico. So for years growing up, I identified as Mexican until I realized that I was pretty much raised in American culture. So I'm Mexican American. That's his name.
It's literally what it said.
Dude, that's his name.
They named the volcano after him.
I didn't know that.
No, like I knew it started with a P. I just didn't remember what it was.
Thank you.
Sorry?
You're getting rosy in your cheeks.
Yeah, I'm a little drunk.
Yeah, he is.
You're rosy all over. Get out of here.
That's true. Always. Especially if I'm feeling self-conscious.
Are
Which
you?
I haven't been, so
You shouldn't.
thank you.
Yeah.
I heard that was the true definition of a gentleman and a lady. How you put others at ease.
So we're all gentlemen.
Yes.
Cheers, right?
Yes,
gentleman.
yes, and lady.
And lady.
Lady.
Yes, I think that's a. I didn't take a drink, but
It's okay.
That's what everybody tells us.
how long does this go?
Until you're done. Are you done? We done? Are we done? I gotta take a leak.
I did too.
We're done.
Third time.
Escape.
This is 3 hours.